Hey, Chains are doing the intro.
No, we have the intro.
Yespixel, episode 18. Some technical difficulties.
God.
Okay, actually, recording this time. Honestly, it was all GutturalSteve's fault. He thought it'd be a funny prank. This is something he and I planned. No, sorry, we missed a bunch.
Okay, hold on. Let's just put a pause on all this.
Okay.
Redo this. We're going right from the top again. Okay, we're professionals here.
Okay.
Are we live?
We can do this.
Are we live?
We're live.
We're close.
Are you sure?
All right,
Are we?
3, 2, 1. Yespixel, number 18, with our guest, GutturalSteve. GutturalSteve, welcome. He's got an advertiser
What's
for
good?
us this week.
The advertiser.
Our sponsor for this week.
Yespixel podcast.
It's regret.
It's regret. Regret that you didn't check to make sure that we were live. And now we got to do this all over again.
Guys, we're 2 hours in, and somebody found out that he didn't hit record. So we've been doing this for an hour and a half. There's lost footage out there on the internet, guys. It's gone. It's been.
Listen, it was bound to happen eventually,
time.
boys.
It's the third time.
Yeah, because I came
Chains thought we were recording like 20 minutes into us just sitting here.
This is actually an elaborate prank for 52 Chains. Get wrecked, nerd.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the second time today, we have a very, very good show for you guys today. Special guest GutturalSteve, who we've wanted on the show for a absolutely long time. We're professionals, by the way. We've done this
Super
like 20
professional.
times already.
GutturalSteve, I feel like I know you so well. You know, it feels like we've known each other. We've talked for hours and hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we know how you got started and everything with the server.
Yeah, Steve.
We know everything about it.
It's like we know
You
every.
guys are speed running the
It's
podcast.
like we have an hour and a half of knowledge. You know, actually, hey Steve, didn't you used to do like an Andy Milonakis
Oh my
game
God.
show or something?
Yeah, I was actually on a show with Andy Milonakis and a bunch of other people, but we'll talk.
Guys, we're not doing the podcast any percentage, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, we have a really cool show for you guys today. Again, we have special guest GutturalSteve, who I personally have wanted on the show for a long time. I know that these guys have also interacted with him a lot. Excellent role player. We also have a lot to talk about too. There's been a lot that happened on the server today. This feels a little bit like deja vu because it is. But chief election, the chief of the LSPD and the future of the LSPD still kind of up in the air, but we have set chiefs now for who is going to lead the LSPDs, because there's now 2. It's been split. What else? We have the mayor election postponed. We have the server issues. That's right. We have a bunch of server issues that have been plaguing the server. Essentially, making it absolutely difficult for people to get in.
Even people with like, unless you have the make a slot for you, like big streamer prio, you struggle to get in.
It's just connection error after connection error. So really rough for a lot of people, but I think it's still been a really, really good week. And so I liked what we did earlier. You know, we went around in a circle. We asked how everybody was doing and how their week went. And Hydra spent about 45 minutes telling us about how much he loves playing Stanky Leg.
I'm so happy. Honestly, let's go back again because I want to talk about it again because I'm so happy. I've been playing Stanky Leg. It feels so fucking good, man. Dude, Stanky Leg, I just got on, started getting involved with the guild. It's just feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm really feeling Stanky Leg. All my RP with John Hydra is paying off. He got a job offer from the TBDPD with Brian Knight as a full officer. It's an actual offer. It's legally binding.
Okay. It is from the chief, by the way. The chief, Brian Knight.
Yeah. But yeah, so I feel like I have a lot of avenues for RP. I've been on I started taking testosterone a few weeks ago, and it's really like helped normalize my mood. And so I think that's part of why I'm able to like lean into like good things happening. I think when you're like depressed and you're not able to, when you have like a hormonal imbalance or like a chemical imbalance, it's so hard sometimes to just let good things happen to you. you know, it's so easy to talk yourself out of good things and force yourself into this like corner of depression and sadness. And I find that as my mood is normalizing, vitamin D too, by the way, helps a lot. As my mood is normalizing, I'm just more able to see the good and not let the bad feel so overwhelming. Yeah. And genuinely, it's been really good. I mean, the boys know I've been pretty, I don't want to say upset, but like salty, annoyed, frustrated at like being a cadet for 10 months almost, and for like having this character Stanky Leg that I really genuinely have a lot of love for, but just didn't feel like I could play. And I finally feel like a lot of those blockages are like out of the way. And so I'm just back and I'm playing and I'm really enjoying it. It feels really good.
And I'm glad that Stanky Leg's back, because it's a fun character. It's that silly, nerdy, I want to be a gangster kind of thing that really just brings out a lot of fun and silly.
And I'm so happy. Thank you. I'm so happy that he's with the guild, even if he's only like a guild hangaround or whatever. I think that there's an opportunity that they might actually invite him to join the guild, the actual gang, if I play my cards right and I just be myself on Stanky, because that's exactly the kind of people he needs. People that are like started off as goofballs, but that sort of through necessity evolved into like pretty cool, scary, powerful people, but never lost the spark of like what made them who they are. Because Stanky Leg really,
they're still nerds.
Is it? Yeah. And Stanky Leg is still an MIT nerd who loves like astrophysics and wants to like fly into space one day, but he like squashes that down because he's like driving on this belief that he wants to be a gangster, because he's like had a panic attack about not knowing what he had, like a fear of success, and he's like, I quit, I'm gonna go be a gangster. Like that's his whole background. He just quit one day, like 2 days before graduating MIT, and he was just like, I'm gonna go be a gangster, it's the life for me.
So this sounds like a really good avenue to be able to realize that gangsterness, but also keep the nerdy, the nerdy stuff, because they've basically already done it with themselves. It's like, all right, cool. Here's these steps to be able to do that something you've been wanting to do, you know, with your character. That's freaking cool.
Yeah, I was in my head, I was thinking about Pilbus. We were just talking about Pilbus earlier before we realized the podcast wasn't going. And we talked about how Pilbus started as like a really like nerdy dork that was kind of like Stanky Leg, with like an edge to him. And now he's like a pretty scary, like will murder you, like don't like fuck with him kind of guy. And I was like, do I have to turn Stanky Leg into that for people to take him seriously? And I was worried that was my only real option, was like to follow in Pilbus's footsteps. But now the guild sort of came to me. I didn't go to them. They literally kidnapped me into their life. And
you were saying that you were going to go to hang out with the Mandem because you had previous ties to them, and then it just ended up that the guild ended up.
They literally drove into the compound, and just took me and just whisked me away. And I feel like I'm like on a dream. I'm in a dream now because it's so good. I'm having so much fun and I'm laughing a ton. It's just it's really good. I'm really happy with it. So I if you're listening to this and you feel stuck on your character, stop trying to make things happen and just let things happen.
You can really yes and yourself into some interesting and fun things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can I give a tip too? Adding on to that, just do your own thing. Focus on yourself. Don't focus on what could have been, and don't focus on trying to get into certain roleplay avenues. Just do your own thing, roleplay how you think your character would be, and then, you know, everything will just come, and you'll have fun with no anxiety.
Come.
Is that all you got from everything I just said?
No, you're absolutely right. 52, you actually... I know you tend to, like, kind of goof about, like, a lot of stuff when we talk about, like, in character versus out of character. But you genuinely have pushed from day one, like, just do your own thing. Just focus on, like letting, like, stuff happen. And if inspiration strikes, just do the thing and don't overthink it and don't, like, decide what to do, because in the deciding, you'll often, like, miss what could have happened. And you're such an expert at seizing opportunities because you don't get in your own way. And I think that's why you've been so successful, is you're like the king of not getting in your own way. You really fucking just like lay the path out and just run down it, and then the torpedoes be damned.
Jesus, man, hop off nuts. I'm not that.
Hell no.
I'm not an expert.
You're about to be a 10K sub, Andy. I gotta get in now.
It's been exciting seeing the rise of your channel and stuff, and I can see why people gravitate to you, because like, yeah, you're so stuck to the laurels. I don't know if you all heard Yanni. Sorry. Oh God. Fucking
nice. Good one.
See y'all later. I'm so cringe. But like, yeah, no, like, for one thing, you're playing a very abrasive character, which you never know how people are going to take. I kind of see like a little bit of similarities, like with somebody like Linda from Burger Shot, played by Pancakes, or was it Pancakes? Oh, he's going to kill me. But like, not everybody knows how to deal with that. But once you get comfortable with that character and you know that, okay, yeah, he talks mad shit, you know. But like, there's no maliciousness. It's just all role play, and you got to remind. A lot of us have to remind ourselves that time that, you know, yeah, don't take it personal. It's just a character and that kind of stuff. And you have a really fun character that, even if you know that you're going to get into shit that may be bad for your character, you still do it because that's your character. And that's really admirable, and it's really fun to watch because, let's be honest, you don't know if it's going to be a car wreck or if it's going to be something fucking amazing, and that's you keep your eyes glued to it. So it's been fucking cool seeing all that.
I think one of the
one trick to playing a character like that is being willing to, you know, be the punching bag, so people don't feel intimidated out of character.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if the person knows you're talking shit and you're willing to take the L, they're not gonna be too invested into, like, too out of character. Invested into the engagement. They're just gonna role play with you.
That's like a great. I was gonna say. I think you said it more eloquently, that people know you're role playing, and 90% of that might be because you're willing to take the L. Because you'll like talk shit and then take a big L, and they'll be like, "Oh, all that shit he talked was role play, duh." But if you talk shit and then they take an L, they're like, this fucking guy hates me. He's an asshole. It's like, wait a second.
The best part too is that even when taking an L, you're entertaining as hell, you know? So like, no matter what you do, it's always going to be fun. So yeah.
We essentially built the Littlemens around that idea of just like not striving for a winning situation, putting ourselves in situations where we absolutely know we're going to get destroyed and we're going to lose, but it's for what will come out of it. Mm-hmm. Is like the reason why we do it, right? Robbing banks, I mean, let's be real, we still have the no pixel best bank robbery ever. No gun, no hostage, no laptop, a golf cart inside the bank. And what else? I think that was it. We just had like the most minimalist, quote unquote, bank robbery, right? I had Cornwood's uncle as a hostage in the back, and it was literally just me going, yeah, it's me, Cornwood's uncle. I'm back here. Yep, it's me, Jebediah Cornwood, or some shit like that. And they're like, Cornwood's like, you got my uncle in there. Got my uncle. And then we're like, all right, we're gonna leave him in the back here as we come out of the bank, and then we drive out of the bank in our golf cart.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was just stupid situations like that. So good.
I still think dropping the blue shell on as Krem Littleman's corpse during the chase from the Fleeka, that was so good. I dropped one of the the stage lights with the color blue. Oh. And it flipped a cop car. It was so good.
I'm having flashbacks, PTSD flashbacks, leaving something in the street.
Oh no.
Oh god.
Well, how was your week, Chains? What'd you have going on this week?
Not fired.
Nice.
Whoa.
Because, you
know, unreal.
With 2 chiefs and 2 assistant chiefs. So one fires me, I'll just go to the other one.
Nice. And just pretend like nothing ever happened.
Dude, you're a hot RP commodity. They're gonna keep you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, anybody that actually wants to get rid of you genuinely, I think that they don't get it, that they're too invested in like the server as a reality rather than as a role play experience. And I think it's a great litmus test to find people that like don't get it, right? They're like out of the loop.
I'm because I play the character, I'm going to be honest. I believe the character there's several times you should have been fired because there's a lot of things I do that are fireable.
Sure.
But the only reason I don't get fired is because I take the punishment. And if I did get fired, I wouldn't. At the end of the day, I'm role playing a cop, right, in a server where you got to respond to crimes and shit, and there's a certain level of professionalism needed. You can't be completely wacky. There's times where you got to lock it in and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But if someone feels that my character Carmine as a character is fucking around too much and is jeopardizing their quote unquote immersion or their ability to do their job, that should be, so long as it's approached in role play, it should be okay if I get fired. That's what happens.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
And if I do get fired, I'll be okay. I tell myself I'll be fine with it, but I don't think I'll be playing any crim or any civilian. I'll probably just
keep playing Carmine, right?
Or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't do Civ, man.
No, I think your option, if you get, go ahead, Steve.
I was just saying that civs are super cringe.
Yeah, imagine being a civ.
Yeah.
No, not because it's cringe, just because it's so overlooked and it's not appreciated. And cops are used as a mechanic, but civilians, it's like I played a civ for like 7-8 months. Carmine was a civ, and it was.
This guy would like try to stream for like an hour, and he'd be like, "I'm sorry, guys, this sucks."
Yeah, like oh my god, it was
Civ is the Dark Souls of NoPixel. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's like max difficulty pretty much.
If you're not beating it with a dance pad or like a bunch of bananas hooked up to wires, like you're not playing Civ properly.
Theremin.
I wanna revisit this topic after.
Yeah,
I got something too. That I want to refer.
But I will say, for whatever reason, I decided to choose hard mode with Timothy and to not do crime. There's only been 2 times he's ever been arrested and put in jail. And they've both been incidences, accidents. The first one was this was back before Kyle Pred was at the top of where he was, and he answered something for Burger Shot, and I had a notepad. Timothy had a notepad, and he was writing something, and he was putting it away in his pocket, and I accidentally misclicked and hit somebody, and that person was like, "Oh my god, he hit me! I want to press charges!" And I got thrown in the slammer, and Kyle. No matter how much Timothy was like, not guilty, not guilty. No, guilty. You're going to say guilty. And he is, guilty? And it's like, all right, there we go. And then, send me over to the prison and stuff like that. And then the most recent one was Timothy likes to dress up like other people. He's the master of disguise. I can go into detail later about how that whole thing came to be. But I dressed up as Mal and was going around and stuff. And somebody called him old, and so it was slick, and so I punched Slick, and he's like, "I want to press charges." There was cops around, and they threw him in jail, and
that's so funny.
So yeah, but I went 543 days without going to jail. So
holy shit, that might be a record.
Yeah. So I'm playing hard mode. Yeah, it's
do you find it? Is it satisfying? Do you get value? What do you? How are you as a Civ player? Where does your dopamine come from?
Just having fun, silly experiences. I made him super silly, and so Timothy as a character wanted to be a voice actor. Oh yeah, we haven't talked about this yet, have we? This is totally new information to y'all about
Whoa, all right.
He's a bit of a self-insert, but not really. I took elements of myself of when I was younger. I was a military brat, very, very sheltered, and I wanted to bring a character to pretty much like I'm gonna let the world of Los Santos mold him. If he's around a bunch of crim people, maybe he'll start getting into crime and stuff like that, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I've I've always wanted to be very silly. The voice acting thing was an avenue of me being able to do voices outside of Timothy's voice. That ended up turning into me dressing up like other folks. It happened to be it was back when Shelley was owning the well, I can't remember what the comedy club, and they were doing a dress up like night of like dress up as somebody else in the city, and I dressed up as Kermodo's character,
Reginald Copperpop. Reginald Copperpapa, and
it's been such a long time.
I hope you have a buggy day. You know, he's going around and talking like that, and I like it.
Like Snidely Whiplash.
People legitimately thought that I was Reginald.
That's so funny.
And that's where it went from there. And then I, there was it was around Halloween, and somebody said dress up as the scariest thing that you could think, and I dressed up as Dean Watson. So I went around talking like this and stuff.
Funny. Yes, I'm Dean Watson.
There we go. I have all the money. So the fun part of that is playing a very mellow, straight character, and making them say silly things like I've got to go make a poopy, stuff like that. But one of my proudest situations was I was at Burger Shot, and it was Barry Benson and somebody else that kidnapped him, took him to the money place. I'm so fucking bad with
the
words.
Money place.
Oh, the money place.
It was the money place.
The gold mine? Was it the diamond store?
A bank. Why can I remember the word bank? Took him to the bank, and the whole time, I'm just playing, the I'm Dean Watson. Hi, I'm Dean Watson. The more that you say that you're the person, the more that they think that you're Dean Watson. And I guess like Baza Gaza never had an interaction with Dean whatsoever. And they none of them did. So like they legitimately thought that I was Dean Watson. And once they were talking over their comms and like, did you just kidnap like one of the most like influential people in the city, one of the most rich people in the city? So like once that happened, the whole tone changed, and like, oh, sorry, sir, and stuff like that. And like I ended up like riding back front seat. One of them hopped into the trunk to let me go. And they're like, don't kill any of my family, just like everything's fine. It's like, no worries, this happens, whatever. And I ended up checking back because I like to watch people's reactions. Somebody in chat told them like that's not Dean Watson. Like, you're kidding me, right? Like it was such a funny thing, but like that stuff like that just I love making people laugh and making just having silly situations like that. It's I thrive on that. So as a Civ character, just having silly interactions, and if I ever get tired of Timothy, I can just dress up as somebody else. And if that character happens to be something that's really cool, that might be a character that I might want to, I'll just kind of sever it off of Timothy. Sometimes I've been like I didn't feel comfortable like wearing that. So I had a Joker character, like the Joker, like like the Mark Hamill kind of Joker, talking like this.
What the fuck? That's so good.
So
what the hell?
I realized I can't really do that with Timothy. With Timothy, he's gonna play it safe, and like even with Mel, like I remember Spaceboy saying, like, because James was there the whole time that I got arrested as Mel, and as Mel, and he's like, oh, he's not going to do anything because he's a precious little Civ that doesn't want to get in trouble, which is totally like he knows my character well enough that I wasn't gonna like try to run or kill anybody or anything like that. So whenever there's something that I want to branch off of, there's a character called Man Baby. That I just found a ped model that just was like a fat guy in underwear that had like a baby looking face, and then I've got the
I'm a baby. I'm a little baby, and I want my mommy moogles, and I want to watch my Space Jam TV.
You sound like Kit Boga.
You do.
So I probably wasn't the best. That for whatever reason, my Go XLR kind of messed.
No, it's good. It's good.
But like little things like that. Like I ended up playing those as separate characters, and like Lasagna ended up adopting Man Baby as her son and stuff like that. And yeah, so I eventually want to play the Joker character, especially with the clowns. Like I think something fun could come out of that. And I usually don't like doing stuff other than Timothy. It's my comfort zone. But I've been realizing it's been a lot of fun and really refreshing. Like even the Littlemen thing a couple days ago, Stim Littlemen.
Arguably the coolest Littleman we've had.
I mean, he is immortal.
And not just, it was just like a couple things that you said that just made it really funny.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes a big man to be a little man.
Big man to be a little man.
Just the way you delivered it, it was just like, God, Stim is so cool.
I was
like
the bulletproof one too. He's like,
it was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because initially I was like, you and Tim and Jim were talking about, because we were in the Playboy Mansion thingy, and you were shooting out the window like, oh, check to see if it's bulletproof, and then I was like, hey, let's check if am I bulletproof? And then Jim pulled out a gun like, yeah, let's find out, and shot me.
Like, now that I want to find out.
I guess I'm not bulletproof.
And then you started shooting me a bunch more, and then after that, whatever glitch reason, I just stood back up, and then
it's the mansion. There's something about the mansion. People don't. You know when somebody dies, they like flash for a second, and then they're just on the ground. Yeah, for some reason you just fall over, and then you bleed like you're a local, and then it takes a minute before you actually like. You know when you're on fire and it takes a minute before like you actually like flash and then hit the ground? It's like your body is just like ragdolls weirdly for a minute. It's like that. And so that's what causes the glitch. It's something to do with it. I think it's the weather system.
It's not just the mansion. It's happened outside the city to me on Stanky Leg. Sometimes when you die, if other things are happening with your like model, you just stand up and can walk around, but sometimes you can't. You have like left and right or back and forth, but not the others. And so you can just walk around. You can, if you are with people you trust, you can get some pretty fun role play out of it.
Yeah. So whenever the guild confronted the Littlemans about all the gunshots and stuff, Jaeger shot me and like,
oh, I guess I am bulletproof. Oh my gosh, I'm a god. I'm a god.
and just such a silly situation. It was a lot of fun. Now it was one of those things that I was kind of worried about because like coming into somebody else's kind of realm, I wanted to do it justice enough. I didn't want to like derail from what the Littlemans do. So I will say it was kind of hard.
We're so happy to have you.
Normally I do like different voices without the Go XLR and stuff. So me having to like literally just talk normally and have it pitched up and stuff.
Dude, it sounded so good.
So
it did sound good. I didn't know who you were at first.
Initially, because like I wasn't able to emote because like I had to get used to hearing how I sounded, and it wasn't until like an hour or so in I was like, okay, and I'm able to bring out a little bit more of the performance of the character and stuff like that. So, but it was a lot of fun. I'm glad you all had fun with it, and I had a blast with it, and I'm looking forward to more of that if you all are. So
yeah, hell yeah, whenever, just hop on.
I think a couple more weeks I might make another Littleman.
Okay.
I had a project. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say it because I don't think it's gonna happen because apparently there's limited slots for custom peds, and so they're getting a little like hesitant to allow any. So I was about to pay somebody. I'd like, hey, I want to pay you. And they're like, hey, before you pay me, because I can make this like today, like reach out to somebody and make sure it's okay first. I was going to pay for a ped model of a skeleton wearing a Littleman scarf and hat.
You can't bring Crim back. He's dead.
Exactly. But that just means you guys could carry around Crim's skeleton. It would literally just be me streaming, really not talking, and occasionally fucking with you guys.
Really? Not talking, huh? Mr. became a sentient robot after he died?
Well, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm such a good role player. Please forgive me.
Too good, dude.
He was playing 2 dead bodies at once.
That's true.
Computer.
He was. He actually was. It's true. It was on another level.
I'm gonna make a Littlemen, and I'm gonna RDM NVL everywhere and ruin your name.
Yeah.
Honestly, it'd be perfect. Yeah.
As long as you don't kill cops, because we'll kill you.
You know what the Littlemen need? The Littlemen need a foil. They need a foil. They need another.
It's pronounced coil. He plays Francis.
They need another. Honestly, Francis should play or Coil should play them, but they need a group that earns the trust of the people the same way the Littlemans have, but are antithetical to the Littlemans. I don't know how you would do that, but basically they're like the enemies of the Littlemans, right? So they're all doing like the silly shenanigans. Like maybe they come in and rob the bank that the Littlemans are robbing badly from the Littlemans.
That's against the rules. You can't do that.
Well, they do it.
Dude, that's so cool.
My God, could you imagine?
You know, they always like fly a plane. You know, they take the plane from you. They're just there, right? If it was like an admin or something, so they could just foil you, it'd be very funny.
We saw we saw Han recently.
Oh yeah,
I don't think we've ever pitched it to him.
Oh, to be Jahan Littleman.
We have never we forced Lord that he plays our father for so long because we always wanted an admin to do it, right?
Yeah.
So that they can do like the legendary things. Just it would be fun, and so
just
Han
make it
was
rain
always
cash
our go-to for that. Yeah. Yeah.
Put
so
$100 million in your bank account and then take it out.
Yeah.
But negative.
Han was always our go-to for that.
That's so funny.
I don't think we ever actually like went to him about it either.
Honestly, I think you're trusted on the server enough now that you could message admins and be like, "Hey, we want like a Littleman, like a small Littleman like area where we have like Littleman locals."
We've been talking about it. Yeah, we've been talking about reaching out and trying to get in a state or something. But it's just never happened. Mostly because, okay, Miles. Sorry, I'm gonna say it. He's kind of a baby. He's kind of a little baby sometimes.
He can be.
And I absolutely love him. He follows every single rule to a T, like letter of the law to the T. Mm-hmm. And I think he's afraid of upsetting an admin and being like, and like asking for something and then them saying no. And so I think he's like, well, what if I ask them for a house and then they say no? And then I don't know. I just like, neither of us have done it. Meave laziness. I don't know what his excuse is, but it just feels like he doesn't want to upset anybody. Oh my God. He just DM'd.
He can hear you.
I thought we were live for a second. Oh my God.
That's funny.
Dude, that's so weird. Oh my God.
Are you live?
I had to check. Oh shit.
Wait, am I live? No, okay.
That's really funny. I don't know. I don't actually think he's a baby. I just think we haven't like reached out about it. We haven't actually like acted on it, even though we said 100 times that we're gonna do it.
You miss all the shots you don't take, you know?
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, I was gonna bother Vigor about it and see what he can do or like who I should talk to, but again, I just haven't taken the shots, you know? So.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, you should just do it, honestly. Just ask.
Steve.
Hi.
Steve Guttural.
That's me.
Well, then no, that's your character.
Steve
You're
Guttural.
Steve.
But that is literally me, though. So yeah.
That is you.
Yeah. Yes. Myself insert. Yeah.
I want to know more about you, bud. I want to know the real you.
All right. When I was 6 years old, I was born without a face.
Whoa!
When you
so
were
all
6?
this is
That's not even my joke. That's a Game Grumps joke. I'm sorry.
dude. I'm actually still upset. I said this at the beginning of the podcast because everyone else has like a nice warm color to their camera. Like Chains is beautiful skin. Steve looks nice and like warm and red. Hydra is red. I'm over here. I look like I'm what is it from Batman with Mr. Freeze? I'm sitting in fucking Mr. Freeze's house, you know.
You mean Victor Freeze? One of my favorite
Victor
Batman
Freeze,
villains,
dude.
by the way.
I'm ice cold over here. Steve, you know the drill, man. We went over this already in the previous podcast. We're on 18.2 or whatever right now. You know the drill. This guy watches the podcast, so we want to know, first of all, what got you into roleplay? Applications, who you applied with.
All right.
Tell us the story. Again.
Well, luckily, I've got quite the unique story, so I'm glad I'm here to tell you this. So I was on a show called Andy Milonakis' Adopt an Affiliate, and it was starring Andy Milonakis. I know. He wanted to get a bunch of people to showcase a bunch of, lesser known, bring out some talent that may not otherwise be seen. And I was on 2 episodes of it. The first one I almost won. I got second place. 9 votes or so was the difference. And the grand finale show ended up being all the second place people getting a second chance. And it just so happened that every episode there would be a guest voter. I don't know what you call it, a guest judge. That's probably the right word. And it just so happened that at the time Andy was living with Seer and Spaceboy. And for the finale, they had Seer and Spaceboy as the judges. And a lot of my a lot of the questions that were asked of me, a lot of my answers really resonated with Spaceboy. And it ended up coming down to a 3-way tie. Chat got to vote, Seer got to vote, and Spaceboy got to vote. The cool thing, though, was that that Andy had a feeling that Spaceboy was going to resonate with like a lot of my answers and stuff. So I guess him and I have kind of similar kind of vibes and as far as like what we want to do with Twitch and stuff like that. But it came down to Seer and Spaceboy deciding who was going to win. And so they both had to kind of go in a room, and Spaceboy ended up talking Seer into me winning the whole thing. So with this, not only was it a bunch of exposure because it was a couple of thousand people usually watching these episodes, but you also got to game with Andy, and we played some Rust. And this was before the Rust RP thing, and we played a couple other games and stuff like that. And
back when it was still a zombie game,
I guess. So I still don't know.
Was that too early?
I have no clue. But my exposure to RP was absolutely nil. The most that I knew about was a friend showing me some clips of Vader and Spaceboy, oddly enough, doing Prune Gang stuff, and it was absolutely hilarious. But I didn't know about RP, and any previous stuff was me watching like GTA Online stuff with like who was it? Fucking H2O Delirious and their whole kind of crew. I don't know why that's the name that I always remember out of all of them. But so yeah,
he was like really big back in the day. He was super big. So
he's still big. Yeah. He's still huge.
So I didn't know really what the whole roleplay thing was, and so anyways. So I made connections with Spaceboy and then Andy, of course. So Andy at the time was doing he was playing Little Earth and stuff. So I was watching. I was like, yeah, I'm kind of digging this whole roleplay thing. This is neat. This is fun to watch. Andy gets off, and I hop over to Spaceboy's channel, and I'm chatting and everything. And he sees that I'm there, and he's like, hey man, you should try out this roleplay thing. This is I think you might like it. And it was one of the best recommendations for me. I downloaded all the stuff, and I actually had to upgrade my my CPU to make sure that it could all run while I could stream and stuff like that. And then I had to apply, and I guess that goes into the next segment of this. How many applications did I have to do in order to?
It's like you know all this. It's like you've heard it before.
Well, I've watched just about every episode except for the one that you put up yesterday. I still have to watch that one. Kind of a fanboy.
Put it up late. He failed us.
We had a really good story about that one too, don't we, Hydra?
Oh, man. Okay, I'll stop deleting the episode. Jeez, get off my case.
This guy.
Anyways,
do you not? So I assume you consume on YouTube then, right?
Yes. While I'm driving, don't worry, I'm not actually watching. I just set it aside.
It's also a place in places where you can get podcasts, including like Apple Podcasts, Spotify. So if it's ever not on YouTube for some reason, because the upload just failed the other day, and I delete the episodes after to like save hard drive space. So apparently that's a faux pas. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
No,
you can at least wait a week, man.
I guess that's true.
So I have a very unique situation when it comes to how many times that I applied, and I did not get any help from Andy. I did not get any help from Spaceboy. I did this all on my own, on my lonesome. I put an application. Well, technically, I did get a little bit of help from Spaceboy as far as like I wanted to.
He kind of like led you in the right direction, right?
Well, so much of like I wanted to get his input on a character's voice, and I did apply with Tomothy as my character, we didn't actually talk about this last time on this that hidden podcast that'll never be seen. The voice for Tomothy is basically, if you know Rocco from Rocco's Modern Life,
oh hello, I'm a wallaby, it's that
oh my
kind
God,
of voice.
You just unlocked a memory.
I took out the Australian out of the voice, and then all of a sudden you got this, and then it's Tomothy minus Australia, Rocco minus Australia equals Tomothy. So yeah, that's how I came up with the voice. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to hear Spaceboy's like, hey, what do you think of this? I sent him a little YouTube video of answering one of the questions on the thing of like, how would you react to having a gun pointed to you? Oh no, please don't shoot me, I don't want to die, kind of thing. And I played Tomothy's voice a lot higher than I do now, but you play a character enough, you get more comfortable with them. But he's like, dude, these are really good, make sure to throw it in the application. I'm sure the admins will love it. And I didn't type anything too long. I wanted more of like my actions speak louder than words as far as my application, and I sent it in, and it was denied. my first one was denied.
No.
Yeah, I know you are. I know you're all shocked to hear this.
It's like we have canned responses. Oh no! How could this happen?
What the?
So. The funny thing though is that because they let you they leave little notes, and they said we don't watch links. So yeah, Spaceboy's like, dude, they'll love it, so make sure to put it in there. So what do you say, Chains?
It's stupid. I don't get it. It's another medium for whoever is applying to display how they can roleplay.
Yeah, well, the thing was like I can't put into words how my character is. I can only like really convey it. So, so the thing is, I'm old and I have Facebook, and I was in a Twitch Facebook group, and I've always kind of posted things in there, tried to be as positive with people that are like kind of struggling with streaming and stuff. Because at the time I kind of was too. I started off as a fighting game streamer, did Street Fighter 5 for about a year or so. Wanted to get good at fighting games because I've always appreciated them. If you couldn't tell, I kind of like.
Who'd you main, by the way?
Started off with Akuma because he's just a badass. But then I ended up picking up Dalsum, which is more of a intricate kind of character, but like good payoff and
good mind games.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's fun. But so then after that, I got burnt out on it because freaking it's a salt mine of a game playing online. Then I did variety for a while, and then but through the whole time that I'm doing this, I'm posting clips, and I'm whenever I would go live, I'd do like a little video of like, hey, I'm going to go do this, do that, put in my little bit of like my silly awkwardness, and apparently so I since I wasn't getting in initially on my first application, I went on this group and I was like, hey, does anybody know any roleplay servers that I could practice on? Because, no previous knowledge of doing it. And I get a message from somebody. It's like, hey, are you familiar with NoPixel? I was like, yeah, I put an application in. And they're like, all right, I'll be right back. And I have no clue what's going on. 10 minutes later, he comes back. He's like, all right, you're in. He gave it the go. So technically I got in on, I both failed and got in on my first.
Yeah, you have a 100% success and failure rate.
Exactly. So, and yeah, it's funny enough thing too is I've never been a keyboard or mouse player. I had to learn a lot. The funny thing is the role play kind of came naturally. It was me navigating the controls. I was a fumbling mess, and I've become a better gamer, oddly enough, thanks to role play. But I guess the next step would be, do we talk about Prio, and do we talk about finally going through puberty?
Whoa, this guy he knows. How did you know?
How did you know that?
Yeah, that is what we wanted to talk about next.
So
how did you get Prio?
So I got on. It's gonna be 2 years from now. No, stay here. You have to hear this. You need to know the lore. You don't know any of this. Goddamn. Technically you can all leave if you want to. You already know this.
Well, for those of you who don't know, we did have complications. So we know this, but you guys don't know this. Okay, and we care about all of you out there on the Yespixel podcast.
But because you're all good role players, you're gonna act like you don't know the meta. So, so anyways,
all of us.
Yes. So I got on December of 2 years ago. This was back at 2.0 at the end of 2.0. With the holidays going on and all of that, it was a little bit slower on the server. This is back when there was only 60 slots. Or 60 or so slots, and I could only get in maybe like once a week or so. I ended up getting on, I think it was either the day before or the day after Christmas, and it just so happened that Spaceboy was playing Mel along with K Client playing, I think it goes by Client now actually, that was playing Peanut, and Chrysalis, who was playing 4T. They're all rolling around and stuff, and I was hanging with a few folks working at the taco stand back when that was a thing, and I saw them previously rolling around, and I was like, "Hey, who's the old guy?" And one of them that I was at the taco stand was like, "No, don't call him old, don't call him old." And the other one's like, "No, actually you should." And it's a term of endearment and stuff. So I ended up going up to Mel and like, I just want to tell you that you're old and you're doing a good job. And he's like, "What did you say? Did you just call me old?" And I was told to say this, and who told you? And then their name was Jay Pink. So I was like, this is somebody. The name starts with a J, I think, and they got pink hair. Oh, Jay Pink, we know who that is. And they rolled up and got him. And so I'm feeling bad that he got kidnapped. So I'm trying to look around for him. I was waiting at I think I saw, their group roll up to the hospital. So I was sitting at the hospital waiting for them, and I confronted them. I was like, tell me where my friend Jay is and stuff. And they had a little talk with Jay, and Jay apparently said that that none of that was true, that he didn't tell me to say that and stuff like that. So Mel said, come. Yeah, brought me over to a little secluded area where a bunch of people were all around, and it's like basically saying, you pretty much get report yourself, or you shouldn't have called me old. And slit my throat, and I'm like, kind of stuff, and he was like, if I find out that you were lying, I'm gonna come for you, Jay. And like the fine thing is, like, I from the get-go wanted to play a silly character, but it was a very serious kind of thing. And so I ended up taking all that footage from that day and turning it into like a 17-minute YouTube video, which is still on my GutturalSteve channel on YouTube. If you want
youtube.com/GutturalSteve.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I don't upload much anymore, but it's on there. But
I'm gonna watch it and critique your roleplay on your second day.
Alrighty. It's probably not that great, but
I'll
anyways,
I'll let you know in the comment section.
Oh yeah,
I don't know what I think.
No. But no, I actually will read them. But anyways, I saw it. So I did the video and stuff, and that same day I kind of got really emotional about like I felt like I found my calling with role play. And you know, I'm just talking to chat and everything. I was just saying, you know, I want to make NoPixel proud. You know, I want to do my absolute damn best. This opportunity was very unique for me, and I just wanted to do my damn best. And I got you know, pretty emotional, and somebody clipped it and put it on Reddit. And overnight I gained like 300 new followers and had a lot of eyes on me. So while waiting for Q, I usually play games or, you know, just talk on the chat and stuff. And I showed off that video because, you know, I've got the time. And it just so happens that one of the admins was in my chat, and they messaged me and I was like, hey, watch that video, could you send it to me? You got some chops there. We'll see if we can get you prio. And so with that happening, this was, as I said, like at the tail end of 2.0, we had to, you know, the whole server was just going through a flux of like changes and stuff like that. He said it may take about a couple of weeks to a month. It ended up taking like 4 months. It was until April that I found out that I got prio. But that whole time, like I maybe was able to get in like once every week, once every 2 weeks. And but any time that I did, I was just putting my whole heart into it because I just enjoyed it. And even if I was waiting for like 7-8 hours, like the few hours that I was in was worth it. It was always worth it. And you know, I had no clue what they were wanting out of prio. You know, who deserves prio and stuff like that. But they from what I found out, I guess Coil kind of approved it live, I think, and it said something about it, which meant an absolute so much. And I think Coil actually followed my channel that same time. So like for the fact that, you know, the head honcho, you know, gave it the go meant an absolute ton to me. And but I you know, after after a couple months I was like, I probably didn't get it, but you know, gonna still shoot for it, you know. One thing I will say though, for people that are hoping for prio, is that to make sure to document things, make sure to, you know, it's good just to, if you're a streamer, to grow your channel, to make clips and stuff like that. But you know, more than likely they'll probably ask you for a few things to show an example, like, hey, this guy deserves prio, here's why. And because there's another incident where I was at a 24/7 doing a delivery and stuff, and there was a guy holding a clipboard, you know, one of the locals holding a clipboard, and I'm carrying a box and I'm twerking while holding the box, like, hey, you want some of this cake? I got a special delivery for you. And Raj in the background's like, right on. And I just burst out laughing, and the admin saw, like, hey, send me that clip too. It was really funny. So just document yourself, and you know, it'll help. But yeah, it's
what I find funny, and we actually you rated my channel recently, and I kind of went over this is when we were goofing off at Burger Shot, where you said like every time you got into the server, you were putting your all out there, right? And this, I know a lot of people, they do this, they do their best to try and put their best out there.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I've had issues in the past with individuals who even in character will talk about like issues with the train. Oh, I'm having issues with the train and all this, and like just really hoping, you know, get some help with that soon. And like they're in character and talking about this, and so first of all, that's like a red flag for me. I'm like, yikes. But then
I'm guilty of that.
They'll do weird things. And I've had this before, and then I mentioned to Steve how I'm not a fan of, when it comes to working jobs in the server, of being like a processing role play kind of person.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure you've experienced this working at Burger Shot. Someone comes in, they say, hey, Heartstopper meal. You say, okay, pay money. They pay, you give meal, they leave. Like, to me, that's just like a vending machine could do that.
Yeah.
And I experienced a lot of this at Rooster's Rest too, where we had the grinders who were coming in because we had food that gave you stats very early on, right? And so people were like, I need my stats, I need to get more money, I need the food that makes the money come in.
Yeah.
Right. And so I did not have prio at the time, But every single time I worked at the Rooster, it was an opportunity, even for 30 seconds, to give someone a tiny little taste of my role play.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, "Oh, there! Like, how's it going? What can I get you? Oh, you want the ramen, huh? Oh, well, let me make that right up for you. I've got my the water's nice and hot today. You can tell the noodles are coming out perfect. How spicy do you want it? I can get." And I do like this. Sometimes I take like 5-10 minutes of these guys' time because I could just tell that they were into it, right? They're like, oh my God, like somebody's role playing with me. Meanwhile, I'm going out to hunt deer or whatever I'm literally going to go out to a mountain for 3 hours and hunt deer at the place where they respawn. Like, I'm going to watch deer respawn while I collect their hides. It's like, you have that opportunity to impress somebody or to just like have like the slightest interaction or just do any kind of role play, and you should take it with every single person and not just people who you think can like up your prio or have viewers or get you a Reddit clip or anything like that, right? I remember there was this one guy, and I won't say who because I actually saw him on the server recently. He worked at the Rooster and he just wanted prio so bad, and he's like, man, I've worked here for so long. I just know people, but I just having all this train problems. And he talk about it out of character, in streams and stuff. Be like, man, I just really want prio so bad. But then he would do processing role play every single time at the Rooster, every single time. Hey, what can I get for you? Yeah, I'll have the ramen. All right, just head up there, grab your ramen. Like nothing more than that. There was even this one time where he was laying on the ground in between the oven and the refrigerator and the stove, and he was equidistant from the three, laying on the ground, so he didn't even need to stand up or move his character, and he could grab food, cook food, put food on the counter.
That's kind of funny though.
He would do that.
There you go. That's kind of inefficient. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if there was actual motion to his body, or even if he was pointing as he was doing it to like emulate like moving his arms.
Yeah.
But it was just like he was just so done with being there, but he had nothing else to do and he needed the money, and it was the best place to grind for money. And it's like, bro, it was so bad. Probably if he listens, he knows who he is. And I feel bad for calling him out, but
I feel like
you had an opportunity. You never took any of those opportunities. Like,
it's like a mindset thing. Some people, I'll be honest, NoPixel is a big server. It's one of the biggest roleplay servers in the world. It's got a huge audience. You could make your living off of it. But if you join the server, it's the same with Twitch. If you start streaming to make money, or your goal is to get clout, you're probably going to get burnt out.
Yep.
And then you're going to get frustrated. It's the exact same approach with NoPixel. If you come on the server to fall into clicks, get clouted to the gills, and it doesn't happen, you're probably going to call it quits. But if you're there with the mindset of, hey, I want to role play a character, these things could happen, but my main priority is just to role play this character and try and have fun, because other games don't do it anymore. Let's be honest. Once you start role playing on fucking GTA or anything, other games don't feel as impactful. They can still scratch an itch, but I can't go back to playing like League of Legends 24/7 like I used to. I can play for a bit, but not for without the stimulation of talking to people and shit, because it's such a social environment. But if you go into the server with the mindset of roleplay first, whatever comes, then you're gonna have fun. But if you come into the server with roleplay, I'm gonna roleplay so I can get this, and it doesn't happen, what happened to that guy you were explaining, Troms? That's what's gonna eat you up inside, and you're just gonna either you do something stupid to get yourself banned off of the server just out of frustration, or you just stop playing.
Are you guys talking about like trying to get prio?
Yeah, in general, trying to get prio, trying too hard.
It kind of stemmed from like looking for, or every time that you were on the server, doing your best and like trying to bring forth your A game and to just like show what you got, right? Instead of just like existing until Penta shows up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, if you only turn on when the popular streamer's around, they can tell. It's really disingenuous. And people like people like Penta and Kyle and Summit and Kevin, they all, when you come to them and are like wilding and have all the answers and the exact thing that they need, they know they're going to take the thing that you're offering them, but then they're going to put you in a box that says, I can't trust this guy.
Yep.
Right? You're not somebody who is going to be genuine with what you're providing. And that's why people will say whatever they want about like the Chain Gang, but they're pretty genuine about what they're bringing to the table. I think they do a really good job of like being themselves in as far as they've declared themselves to be on the server, right? And like a lot of people, especially people that are like, don't have groups, don't have, a big gang, don't have a lot of subs, they can be really wishy-washy with how they behave on the server. And it really shows when you're like hanging out with somebody and you're having a pretty good time, but then Chawa comes walking by, Summit's character, and they immediately run away from you without a word to go interact with us. Like, okay, dude. Like, all right, man.
Yeah, I was lucky. Ignorance was bliss for me. I was just kind of in my own like square of just like, okay, I knew with streaming, I never watched any of the big streamers. I was more of just like with fighting games, like there's not a lot of like there's your big tournament folks and stuff like that, but there's not like a lot of personalities, like strong personalities in it. So there's not like a huge bunch of people.
I'm messaging Mango right now to tell him you said that.
What I'm trying to say is like I just never really like, I wasn't watching the big streamers. I'm like Maximilian, dude, yeah, but he's more of a casual, like playing everything kind of like fighting.
If you play fighting games, you watch Max.
yeah, exactly. And actually he was like kind of an inspiration for me in regards to that.
Dude, I love the way that he has a group of people that he like surrounds himself with, and he like pushes everybody up. Like watching those guys go from like just part of like the dude crew to all being sort of successful streamers in their own right.
Yo, video games, yeah, I know
yeah.
About, yeah. Funny enough that I actually kind of emulated that myself because I've got a former bandmate and former roommate goes by the name of Mr. Buff Pickle, and
that's a good name. That's a good name right there.
He would. Like on Sundays, he'd come over and would play some couch co-op stuff, and I called it Headbangers Brawl. Because funny enough, Yo Video Games is based off of Yo MTV, so of course I'm going with the MTV trope of Headbangers Brawl, and it just sounds cool because a bunch of metalheads playing freaking couch co-op stuff, and I'm actually hoping to bring that back next year. But
right on.
Yeah. Side tangent. I forgot what we're talking about.
Trying hard on the server, providing.
Ignorance is bliss. That was the whole thing. I just, any interaction that I had, I didn't know how many freaking, viewers or followers. And it's still to this day, like, and yeah, I know more people now, but I still treat every single person as if they were a zero Andy streamer,
the way to do it.
1,000, whatever, XQC comes around. I don't go, oh my God, he's sure I'm gonna be my absolute best. I'm not trying to leech off of, people's viewers, but I know for a fact that if there's a good interaction and the streamer digs it, you might get a raid. But I don't go out there hoping for that big raid to push the channel. I just know that if I keep going at this, because you're always advertising yourself, whether just being on the server, interacting with people. There will be people in people's chats. They'll be like, who is that? And they'll get it is not even the streamer. It's
somebody else in chat knows.
And then you'll get some follows from that. You're always advertising yourself, but like people can tell when it's forced. People can tell, if you're doing it, for a certain reason. And I've just always been the mentality of, let's just do your damn best with everybody. And you never know who's going to a big thing too. So like you also got to think in regards of that your interaction with somebody that may have only had 5 viewers could be 100, 200, 300 whatever later. And yeah, but I've been doing this for almost 2 years now, and I'm still having an absolute blast with it. And yeah, I might be a little bummed when my numbers don't look how I thought they should be. And I got a little bit of a chip on my shoulder for like I was on Andy's show, and that I've seen other people on the show, grow their channels and get partner and stuff like that. So I do beat myself up in regards to like, okay, maybe there's something I'd be doing better. I'm always like that with whatever I do.
I think it's always good to look at yourself and be critical, right? And to think, oh, could I be doing better? What could I be doing better? How could I, make something better, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think it's like, oh, you're doing anything wrong per se. It's because honestly, especially when it comes to streaming, it's like a lot of it's a lottery. It's like, are you there at the right time? Do you somehow interact with the right people? Do the viewers just happen to see you at the right time? Do you get the Reddit clip that just happens to hit at the right time? Even with the Prio thing, an admin just happened to reach out and see something like that.
Right,
it's like
right time kind of situation. I could still, I could still be in the situation where I don't have Prio. That's happened to a lot of people. There's a lot of people right now. I'm just like, how do they not have Prio? And
right.
It's but I know for a fact that if they keep at it, it will happen eventually. Mm-hmm. I saw it with like Ain't It Adam, who plays Scruffy.
It took him a long time.
Yeah, but I knew like whenever he had to like take the reins of Burger Shot for a while there, and he was absolutely killing it. And he took charge, and this was with him without Prio, but he was able to be there as often as he possibly could. Mm-hmm. And it's like somebody, one of the admins will eventually see it, will and he did, a lot of people from Burger Shot, in all honesty, eventually did get Prio, and it's just because that group, we hire people that have personalities and that role play, and it's just only a matter of time. I feel so.
You were gonna say something, 52?
Yeah, about streaming. You got to think of it as a marathon, not a race. Mm-hmm. And the marathon you're in, it's just you. And all you got to do is focus on yourself and think of the positives, the progress you're making. There'll be days where you fall, you get less than what you had. Those days are bummers. But then, if you compare yourself to other people, you're gonna be hungry, and that hunger is gonna eat away at you.
Yeah, exactly.
At first, it's gonna be like a good motivator, But at first, you're gonna be like, okay, I want to be just like that. Then a week from then, you're gonna be like, why am I not there yet? And then a week on from that, you're gonna be like, fuck, I hate this shit. And then you're just gonna psych yourself out. So, play it safe and just focus on yourself. Forget about what everyone else is doing.
Yeah. The thing is, luckily, before getting into streaming, I did music for a while. Hence the name GutturalSteve. I did death metal vocals for like over a decade, and it took like 5 years before anything like really started picking up. And you have this idea of like, oh, I want to do music for a living, but the reality eventually hits of like what is realistic and stuff. But I knew that, okay, this doesn't happen overnight. It takes a lot of things, but always making sure that you're doing it for the right reasons because you enjoy it, and that just have fun, and if people can tell when you're being genuine with things, mm-hmm. people gravitate towards that.
Yeah. And
it was only a matter of time, but yes, a lot of it is right time, right place kind of situation.
Yeah.
But basically you have to be a lightning rod of content. I've always kind of said this, that, make sure that whenever you're streaming, that you're doing the best that you can, because you never know when lightning might strike with, mm-hmm. That right raid or, that Reddit clip or something like that. And then being sure that you're prepared for that kind of situation, because it can be overwhelming, mm-hmm. That you have to, and yeah, you might get a big raid, but like not everybody sticks around. But you have to hope that lightning strikes a couple of times, which I know that kind of sounds like, oh well, lightning doesn't always hit twice. But
it actually does. They're called lightning rods. They
make
lightning
really
strike
good
a
way
lot.
to put it.
That's a good premise. Maybe I should use an analogy for that.
You should, yeah. You gotta pay me if you take my idea, though. You could be like a lightning rod of content.
That's really good, man. I'm gonna
Wait, I swear I heard that somewhere before.
No, probably not.
Actually, I like that.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you.
Talked about this on the previous hidden
podcast. I can't believe we all took our penises out.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
What podcast was that?
Yeah, what podcast? Haha, so crazy. Never happened.
Yeah.
You know what's so funny is now we don't have to edit out the Mountain Dew thing.
It ended up working out.
Oh, I kept like taking the Mountain Dew and like holding it and drinking it. It was so funny. Fuck.
Okay, yeah, it's so funny, man. Really funny.
But then there's a lot of... Oh, go ahead.
I want to add one thing to it. Like most of the big streamers, like a lot of them, they've been streaming for years to like 5, 10, 3 viewers, and then out of nowhere they get that traction, and the traction just builds up. I've been streaming for 4 years. My tops used to be 5 viewers. I used to be happy with 5 viewers.
Yeah.
But it could happen. Doesn't mean it will happen, but it could happen. But if you're focusing on other people's success, you're probably gonna quit before it does happen.
Spaceboy was a good example of somebody that was like, I don't know if it's gonna happen, and look at where he is now. You know, you know what I mean?
He's gutteraling.
But yeah, I still have fun. And I am happy to just be able to get into the server and interact with all you talented motherfuckers and everybody else on the server.
I say that too.
It's crazy.
Nice.
It's the best of the best, and it makes me want to up my game up. You know.
The best.
Give yourself more credit, please. All of y'all. We all have to beat ourselves up, and we joke, but there's a reason we're on this server. You know, we got handpicked, and they saw potential in us, and we bring it. You know.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I don't know. No, you're right. There's a reason we're all still around, and people want to interact with us, and I'm very hesitant to show the honest conceit that I often feel. This is something I don't hear people talk about very often, is honest conceit. I think all of us are very good at certain things, and it's okay to be conceited in an honest way. As long as you're not like blowing your ego up and you're going like, no, I'm actually really good at making random situations and then turning them into like long-term role play. Like that's something I'm really good at. I'm good at just doing something fucking weird and crazy and then turning it into a really fun time for 30 people. Like that's awesome. Like how many times in people's lives can they go, oh yeah, I made 40 people have a great day today. Like that's awesome.
And you never know who you're going to inspire. Cause there was somebody on Twitter, I almost said Twitter, Jesus, on Twitter that said that I inspired them to want to go and role play, and that means an absolute lot. And I'll even go back to before RP, when I was doing fighting games. One of my most proudest moments when I only had maybe like 5-10 viewers was that I had somebody that came into my channel that like somebody previously told them like, hey, maybe you should quit fighting games, maybe they're not for you. And we told him, nah, man, if you enjoyed enough, keep at it. He wanted to move up in the ranks and stuff. He was stuck in bronze, wanted to get to silver, and we told him not to give up. And as much as he wanted to quit, it was like, keep at it, man. We were able to do lobbies and stuff and play with him and stuff like that. We helped him through. And one of my proudest moments was finding out that he hit silver, and it's like, and I could tell that his confidence changed in himself. You know, he was always putting himself down. And
that man's name, Elon Musk.
Right. You're kind of ruining Twitter.
So it's those moments like that, and I've had people tell me that like I've helped them through some hard times. And in all honesty, like streaming and NoPixel has helped me through some really hard times. I don't know where I would be right now if it wasn't for this. I feel purpose with doing this. And even if it's not me, blowing up on Twitch and stuff, and if I'm able to leave an impact on somebody, that who knows, maybe I might inspire the person, the next big roleplay streamer and stuff like that. If I leave an impact with that, we all die someday, and we can't leave with all of our goods on. I'd love to take one, freaking arcades with me, but but what we do leave with is leaving an impact on people. We live through other people with how we impacted them, and if I can inspire somebody to be like, you know what, if that guy that lives in the middle of nowhere can go and do these things, maybe I can, and so that's why I do this, and yeah, I'd love to do this as a living. I hate my job. I'd rather. I don't like working a soulless job where I'm not using my creativity. I'm a creative. I want to voice act. I want to freaking. I used to draw a bunch. Improv is so much fun. Just any way that I can pour myself out, and like the GTA roleplay, No Pixel has been like that perfect. Like I can't find anything else to play that gives me that satisfaction, So
I think it was I can't remember which philosophers. I think it was Socrates, one of the greatest minds of his time and maybe in history.
How do you know that? Were you there?
I was there, yeah. He worked in a rock quarry. That was his job. And people said, Socrates, you're so smart, you're so wise, you have all this wisdom. Why don't you take up a job as a teacher, as a writer, as some of these? And he said, I don't have the mental capacity to dedicate to teaching people. Working at the rock quarry lets me ponder about things, and that's why you know who I am. If I worked teaching, I would be too mentally exhausted to teach.
I can kind of understand that. Oh, shoot, man, like I can't say exactly. I don't want to say exactly what my job is, but I drive around a lot and fill up kiosks of things, and there's a lot of driving involved, and I work alone. I also live alone, so I'm very much alone with my thoughts all the time. So for one thing, the Yespixel podcast has helped me, keep inspired to role play, and I've learned a lot of things, a lot of nuances that maybe I didn't think of, in regards to role play. And but I'm also, whenever I'm working, I'm always thinking about like, what's the next step with role play? What can I do for stream and stuff like that? And
Socrates.
Yeah, it's like I'm glad I have that, but also I'd rather just be working from home or something like that. And I've driven a lot, but
dude, driving is such a great job. If you're not doing like really intense like mountainous driving, when you can kind of like turn your brain off a little bit, that's when sometimes you can get the best thinking done.
Oh yeah, there's a few times where I'm like driving maybe like half an hour to like an hour and a half from one stop to another, where I'm just like, all right. And sometimes it's good where I'm like, oh, I'm really focused on something, or there could be something that's really bothering me, and then it just kind of it spins around and manifests into negativity. But it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Everybody has jobs until they don't, right? Everybody works a shitty, crappy job until they find one they like, or they fall into something, or they get lucky.
It's funny because you speaking on that kind of reminds me of when I left my job like a year and a half ago, because I was just so unchallenged by it. It wasn't creative. I had mastered everything there was to do. It really just wasn't doing anything for me anymore. And so I asked for a raise, didn't get it. Was in a position where I wasn't exactly making enough to survive off of Twitch. But I was like, you know what? I got savings. I'll take a year, right? I'll see how it works out. If after a year it's not working out, I'll get back out there.
Mm-hmm. And, especially if you have a vocational skill that's like they're always hiring, right? You can always find somewhere to work.
Oh yeah. Well, that was the thing too. It's like, man, I have so many skills. Like I could do anything, and so I had to try. I would have been upset at myself for not trying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Can we talk about like our Twitch channels? This is something I want to start asking more people if they're comfortable with it. I'd love to. I'll start by talking about mine too. I want to talk about like average viewership, like what kind of trends you've seen recently, like ad revenue. I'm happy to say this. I made more money in the last 30-day period from ads than I did in the last 2 months from subs, gifts, donos, primes, all combined.
Awesome.
All I did was I raised my ads up to the bare minimum where it wasn't doing pre-roll ads. I think pre-roll ads are an absolute murderer. I think pre-roll ads will send somebody away from your channel faster than anything else.
They'll just click, get an ad, and click away.
Yep, exactly. So I
don't watch out.
We all do it.
Yeah, so I'm making almost $300 from ads this month, and then I'm making like almost $200 from like subs, donos, and other stuff, right? And it's awesome. It feels like I'm very slowly I'm getting back to a position where this might start feeling like a potential like job again, which is what I want. I want it to be a job, right? I want it to be the thing that I can focus my energy on. But that's not, you can't quit like a job where you have like medical, vision, and dental, right?
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't pay great, because those things are very expensive when you don't have them, and potentially like super expensive. So my average viewership for the last 30 days, it's the number, it says average viewership, but they calculate it in a weird way. Right now it says like 35 for the last 30 days, but really I get hosted a lot. I get rated a lot. We don't do hosts anymore, I don't think. But 52 Chains, instead of paying me cash, he just raids me 4 times a week, which I appreciate. Thanks, big boss.
Okay.
Troms raids me all the time. I'm a mod for my buddy Cotton. He's a big Tarkov streamer. He raids me for 2,000-3,000 people sometimes. And just other people. And when you're a name on the server and people are just looking for someone to raid, Stanky Leg's an easy person to throw up. You can throw up Stanky anytime. But so outside of those, my average really like the number that I'm actually seeing is like between like 9 and 15, which like, and I'm seeing the same names again every day. And I'm seeing like my chat moving. And I've said this to my chat, I've said this before, the best feeling for any person who's streaming is a moving chat.
Oh yeah.
When you feel like you are like taking mental energy to like talk about a thing, like Northern Lion is really incredible. He's like YouTuber, Twitch streamer, content creator. Northern Lion's incredible at just talking while he streams. This guy's super smart. He's very quick-witted, and he can just talk all day. I can't do that. I could force myself, but I would lose something in the role play, right? Role play is like very sort of,
it's a different beast.
It requires a certain mental fortitude. So I get caught in the role play a lot, and people kind of acknowledge like that's fine, like that's okay. I'll apologize, and they'll be like, "Dude, you're role playing. Shut up." And I'll be like, "Thanks, man."
Yeah, the role play chat definitely understands because I was doing Street Fighter, and I was only having like 5 to 10 people, but like man, my chat was going. I was going better than people with like 30 or 40 viewers and stuff like that. I took pride in that of interacting and stuff like that. But whenever you switch over to role play, luckily there was like every once in a while like there would be somebody come in and say something or ask something like, I guess the streamer's not going to pay attention to me. I'm going to leave.
Well, you're in the middle of like a three stock, and you're just like desperately trying to win. You're 20% health.
But it's like, well, no, in regards to like, I've had that happen with like role play stuff, and it's like, but they don't get it because it's like I'm talking to people in game, but like the thing is, the people that watch role play know that okay, he's not going to interact with us because he's entertaining us right now with what's going on. And then when because with Timothy, he's his CEO at Burger Shot right now, so he's having to make sure that everything's going smoothly and stuff. Sometimes he has to go out and farm, and I spend that half an hour to an hour talking to chat. Space Boy is another good example of like sometimes he's not always chaos and stuff. There's the calm before the storm, but usually with that he spends that time talking to chat and keeping that engagement. And for the most part, chat knows. Like, yeah, okay. He's usually they'll talk amongst themselves, while
well, we're all, doing our role play stuff, and it's nice. It's nice to know that you don't have to worry too much about the chat moving, but seeing it move because everybody has made a friendship in the chat with each other, and
when your chat develops like little memes that sometimes you're not even part of, that's the best.
Yeah. Yeah, the streaming roleplay is a different beast, but it's I enjoy the hell out of it.
Dude, I really love streaming. Somebody, I think it was Nihil. I messaged him there and I was like, "What are you doing tonight?" And he said, "I'm gonna go do my pretend to be somebody else hobby." Just kind of like offhandedly. And I was like, oh shit, he doesn't stream. Like, this is actually a hobby for him. This is actually a thing that people do for fun. As I was just like, that's a great way to think about this, especially if you're not trying to stream as a job. I'm sure everybody that streams, like, in the back of their minds, like, oh, I want to pop off. But I think wanting easy money, and I hate you guys, by the way, wanting easy money and just role playing as a hobby are two wildly different things. And I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome to be able to go, this is a hobby that I have. I don't think I could say that realistically. His camera freezes sometimes. He's not very good at being still.
He's really good at it. He's Fit actually said he was planning on starting to stream.
Yeah, we talked him into it because we all said like Turo's a super funny character. I could definitely see him. That guy makes me laugh a lot.
Yeah. He's got a voice for it too.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna crank it to that guy's voice.
Wait, somebody else, you mean?
Yeah, somebody else.
Yeah, I'm gonna crank it to his voice. What?
What was the old meme? I'm squeezing my hog to this, and there's nothing you can do about it.
I think you mean you don't know it, but I'm eating a muffin at you right now.
You don't know it, but I'm squeezing my hog to this. Even if you ban me, I'll keep going.
You can't stop me. I remember that meme.
It was good times. Good times. Not really terrible. Fucking assholes. I don't know why people are so bad. Oh, what about you guys? How are your numbers doing? How are your sub counts?
Poor.
Are you you're down from 666 to 400?
Yeah, I'm poor.
Let's go look.
It's not going so good. I'm crashing and burning, man. We're all gonna die out here.
That was me last month.
Do you ever?
No, it's going good. No complaints. It's Twitch, right? It's a roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
And around this time, it's kind of a little bit of a downtime for viewership, stuff like that.
You're pushing it on 20K followers, Troms.
Oh. Yeah, I did that.
My man. How many followers? Do you know how many followers you had before NoPixel?
5,000? 3,000?
Oh, that's
3,000.
Steve, you probably know this from the episodes, but Troms here was the number one in the world, World's Adrift streamer.
Stop.
Oh yeah.
Stop it, guys. Yeah, okay, let's talk about that. So anyway, I used to be a really big YouTube streamer. Like, we're talking like 40, 50 average viewers. That's crazy.
That is actually fucking insane.
Nuts. Dude, I once hit like 250. It was insane. Popping off, dude.
Oh my god, Troms, your sub count's down to 379. You were about to be destitute.
It ran at 10 frames per second, but I played the shit out of this game called Worlds Adrift. Everyone loved it. It's actually funny, just like thinking about where you came from, and that is where I came from, because a lot of my like OG mods and community is still from like back on YouTube. And then I don't know if it was on this podcast or if it was on the hidden one that we did beforehand, where we rehearsed everything that we said in advance for an hour and a half before Hydra realized that he wasn't recording. And
recording right now.
He's recording now. Oh,
hey, can you check? Can you check, please? Like,
yeah,
recording right.
somebody mentioned that they got affiliate like really quickly. I got affiliate. I had affiliate for a year and a half before I finally accepted it because I was multi-streaming to Twitch and YouTube at the same time.
Smart.
To try to like, I think I did Mixer for a little bit too, just to give it a try. It was back when I was doing Batman streams. I had the Batmanathon where I played every single Batman game.
I think that it is, I don't know what the right word is, but I think it's not okay that Twitch disallows affiliates from multi-streaming. I understand partners, right? Once you're a partner, you've got like a more serious contract, you've got certain expectations, but I think it is, really. I think it is, I don't know if manipulative is the right word. It doesn't feel right.
You feel like they're taking advantage of the person.
Yeah.
Min-maxing their profit margins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be honest, partner isn't much different. All it is a tech connects to your name and a couple more emote slots.
Don't you also get like you have the potential to negotiate for a higher split? I think the splits were changed. Do partners not automatically get a slightly better split?
No. I mean, I don't know, maybe with the tier 2 and tier 3. I think the split with tier 2 is 60-40.
Okay.
And the split with tier 3 is 70-30.
Okay.
I don't know if it's the same for you though, but that's the only difference I've seen so far.
I think it's all 50-50 for affiliates.
And let's be honest, not a lot of people give you tier 3s or 2s, so.
Yeah, I often tell people like I'd rather you sub and then gift 2 subs than tier 3. I've been trying to encourage people to, if they're going to gift subs, instead of gifting 5 subs, gift one person 5 months of subscription. Right? Ooh. It's the same.
Is it cheaper?
No, it's the same amount of money.
You're keeping butts in seats.
Exactly.
No ads. Yep.
Getting a gift sub to, if everybody gets gifted a sub every day, I get like a gift sub to like every like 10 or 15 different no pixel streamers a month, right? I'm not going to go hang out on their channel because I got a random gift sub. When you're gifting 5 random subs, half of those people are going to be like, thanks for the sub, and then never come back. It'll be their first and last message to your channel. But if you see somebody that's in your channel, like in a channel consistently, and you see them having been gifted a sub a couple times, they probably can't afford to sub. So gift them like 5 months or a year of subs. It's going to cost you the same amount of money, but it's going to make them feel special, right? And it's going to... Yeah. You're affecting the streamer in the same way, but what you're doing is you're creating a potential consistent viewer for that streamer.
I'm so disconnected when it comes to that kind of stuff.
That's actually, I'd never thought of it that way. That's actually really cool. I like that outlook.
It's an option we have that's not utilized, and I think it's really good.
You know what I do? I just switch on the stream, whatever happens.
Yeah, I'm the same way, pretty much. I don't worry too much about like ads and stuff. But
yeah.
I'd love to be making more money on it, you know. But I want to make sure that my viewers are having the best experience possible. And I don't know. Things might change, you know, because I mean, once you make this a full-time job, it's different, you know. I do like the fact that ads can be something that can build stability for a streamer when the subs and stuff fluctuate.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You were kind of quiet when you're talking about numbers and stuff. Is that not something you're comfortable talking about, Steve? Or
no, I just haven't brought it up yet.
Oh, okay. What do you got?
Like recently, probably between 20, 30. It's hard to say. There'll be times where it just kind of jumps up, and it really depends on how long I stream, when I stream. Because I know that there'll be certain people that that once they hop on, people will leave. But like I don't mind that, But there's people, I love them for that. That they'll be watching multiple streams. They'll be watching mine and watching theirs as well. So initially when that first like big bump of like all that attention on me from Reddit, I was maybe doing 40 to 50
viewers average, and I was getting rated a lot more often as well. And so at that point I was like, maybe I can hit partner and stuff like that. And I stayed consistent. And I was streaming a lot of hours too, but for whatever reason, and sometimes it's out of our control, and we got to remind ourselves this too. It's like there's stuff that we just can't control with our numbers, and like it just. What I've always looked at was the same people showing up into chat, and the chat being engaging. Those are the things that make me know that I'm doing something right, and the people that'll come and be like, you should have more viewers, you know, that they see the potential in me. Because, you know, going back to that being a lightning rod of content thing that Hydra definitely came up with.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. I'll pop a pee. That when those opportunities do come, that you're prepared for that shit, you know? And I'm going to do the content the same way, regardless of how because for one thing, people will know when you're down, when when your mood changes, when you're like, I don't have as many viewers as I thought I should. You kind of have to block that out. You probably shouldn't be looking at your numbers, especially when you're streaming.
Right. I only this year turned my viewer count off.
Yeah. And
yeah, me too.
It's probably the best thing that you could do in that regard. I don't, but I also don't let those numbers bother me.
Yeah, I'm the kind of person that if I see 5 people leave suddenly, I will begin to feel anxiety thinking that I'm not doing something right. And then I'll do that thing where I stop being genuine to kind of force content. And that's when you get in weird situations where people aren't happy with you.
Yeah. And I mainly use it to make sure that whenever I'm done, I want to know how many people I'm raiding with. And it wouldn't be a thing of like, oh, there's like nobody here, I'm not going to raid. But like, you know, I'd like to know.
I do check before I raid. I do like throw up my Twitch channel and I'll go, okay, we have 24 people in here. Let's go find somebody with 24 or fewer, because I don't like raiding up. I like raiding down.
Yeah.
Some people will like raid to their like big streamer to like show support or whatever. Be like, hey, I'm still, you know.
Well, yeah, but they're not going to raid. More than likely, they're not going to raid you because you raided them.
Exactly.
Like,
and that's just why I think Trump should be banned.
Yeah, exactly.
But ultimately, but only for a couple weeks.
When it comes to rating, I've always had the mentality of like, what would my viewership enjoy? Or, hey, here's somebody that's smaller that deserves more attention. And so I always want to make it so, like, you know, somebody might fall in love with this other streamer of like, oh God, I love their content. If you know, I didn't raid them, then my viewers may have never, you know, really, you know, latched onto them and stuff like that. Like, we're all here to help each other out, you know? If you've noticed that, like with a lot of like big streamers, they always like work with each other. It's kind of like a group mentality, and you have to, what is the saying that, rising tides
raise all ships.
Yeah. A certain pirate should know that by heart, right? But yeah,
I've got a question, GutturalSteve.
Yeah, sure. What's up?
When you don't have to answer this, but when the viewers you said leave, who is it they leave to? Who is it you share a community with?
There's a few. Mike the Bard is one of them.
Makes sense.
Because him and I are like, we have like one of the best. We had like one of the best bromances. We still do bromances. Like him and I are just like
different apartments.
Yeah, it's separate apartments. Yeah, it was always the meme. But I don't mind that. Like, it's none of that bothers me. And I know, like, because I could be thinking, okay, maybe if I just start like a whole lot earlier. But I enjoy our interaction so much, and like we help each other out in the long run by being on at the same time. It's like it's no biggie to me. Or like people like Banana Duck or Space Boy or anybody that has a similar kind of style.
Yeah,
I understand that they may go to them because, you know, like there's only a limited amount of people that are able to you get their eyeballs with, and you just kind of have to realize that, and don't let it bother you personally, and like as I said, rising tides raise all boats. If we're all helping each other out, and here's something I also want to bring up too, that I don't think a lot of people talk about, especially in the realm of roleplay, is that it's really good for us to have these people, these big streamers that don't normally do roleplay come into the server. That helps out us a lot because they may not stick around forever. However, the people that are watching them may fall in love with roleplay.
Yeah.
And they'll stick around with one of us. You know, I've seen, like, for an example, was it Call Me Kevin?
Mm-hmm.
Who does what?
I have amnesia.
Yeah. I would imagine that Farmhouse, who plays Steven, had a big impact from, you know, role playing with him. That a lot of those people from Call Me Kevin ended up sticking around with Farmhouse, and now he's able to do this for a living. You know, I think we should really, because like some people be like, oh, they're just taking up another slot of the server that we can't get in for. Like, what good are they doing for? They're not even going to stick around, but like they're bringing a whole new audience that is not used to roleplay that could fall in love with it. Like a really good example is like Grand Pooh Bear. I watched his content beforehand because I love like Mario games and stuff and speedrunning and all that kind of stuff. And he was doing that beforehand. And I guess he's friends with Andy. And I think that's how that whole connection kind of happened. Like, hey, you should do this roleplay thing. He fell in love with it. For one thing, seeing somebody else fall in love with roleplay reminds you why you fell in love with it in the first place. And it's just so fun. It's like, yeah, I get it. Like whenever they're talking about how much they love it, like, yep, I had that feeling. It's like falling in love again, you know? But like, you know, he had an impact on the server and he left, but I know that for a fact that there's people that were in his chat that are now sticking around with other role players as well. And yeah, I think it's healthy to have people outside the realm, and we've also seen people like what was it? I'm going to say his name wrong. Esfend.
You said it right.
Cornwood. Like sometimes bringing in people that are outside the realm can affect the server positively. As far as like he played a goofy ass cop, you know, he could get away with things probably better than some of us could, you know. Like
yeah, we've said multiple times that he and Moon are like almost single-handedly responsible for allowing the police to be as free as it is now for people to actually role play. Yeah, and to have and that the best thing is having a variety of different characters that can fill roles. Like didn't Walnut Cast say something along the lines of like his cop character Brick James is kind of a morale cop?
Yeah. He's a morale cop. That's what he calls himself.
Did he coin it? He coined it, right?
I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's his thing now.
But yeah, but like the more variety, the more fruitful I'm glad that a lot of the cops are able to, like for example, Troms with Moosebeard being able to wear the hat and whatnot.
Tricorn. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember like Ian and Adam like kind of being a little put off for the fact that like he couldn't get Scruffy to be a cop because he couldn't wear his
clown face paint,
his face paint. But the thing is,
like, soon to be an issue for Zaitoro.
Yeah. So, but that's such an identifier of that person,
right?
Like, but if he's still like wearing, you know, the whole cop getup, I understand where it goes a little too far. It's like you can't even tell if it's cop. But I think, you know, certain personality traits, certain things should be able to be allowed, like that.
That was something I fought for very early. People didn't want me to wear the boots the Moosebeard wears, and canonically from the very beginning, they're literally stuck to his feet. He wore them too long. They would never take them off. Would always be getting wet feet, and eventually his feet just swole up.
Oh, you're one of those people, huh? You know when you pull someone over for a traffic stop and you say, "Hey, take off your mask."
I can't take off my mask. Yeah, I think
you're
that's
one
different.
of those guys.
No. Well, yeah. I mean, if you want to like lump me into something like that, sure, I guess. but
they can identify.
It's not covering my face.
Right? I know those feet anywhere.
What if we need a feet ID?
Well, luckily for you, I have the most unique feet in the city because the boots have fused to my feet. They're not even shoes. They're not boots. Those are my feet. That's my skin now.
I stole Bane's
I had X-rays done for Moosebeard, and he's got flippers essentially, like his feet. He doesn't have toes anymore.
Oh god!
Yeah, like the bones are all fucked up underneath, and like, I had an actual doctor's note that I had to give to PBSO, saying that it would take heavy reconstructive surgery to remove the boots from my feet.
That's funny.
Speaking of Bane, it's so awesome to see him out and about in the city, going from a lifer to all that. That's exciting.
Yeah, I got to roleplay with him on Stanky Leg, and we actually had fun. We like beat each other up a little bit, and it was fun.
With the whole crazy Littlemen's, with him, he's like, I think I should probably get out of here because he's still like he's still on
roll for like 28 more days or something.
Yeah, so and the first time that I saw Bane was in Burger Shot, and like everybody was like dancing for him. So I brought Timothy over and started twerking and stuff like that. But as soon as I saw him, because like his and I characters haven't interacted before that. But I was just so hyped. I was like, yes, he's out. He's doing things with Bane. It was so freaking cool to see. I'm glad that that's an option for the lifers. So
it is now. I mean, the guy earned it.
Yeah, for real.
Can't wait to take it away.
I mean, he got prio and then he kept on role playing in the prison.
Yeah, that's fucking dedication. Like, most people would have just been like, I'm out, peace, new character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bane he's dedicated, or time, I should say.
Yeah.
Mr. Time.
Now, here's what we need, though. We need the Dobermans to all get parole. Get them out of the prison, boys. The Dobermans are coming out.
Honestly, Dobermans, if they were out versus Littlemans, that would be so good. Just all in the city.
Like to be the Littlemen's foils.
Yeah.
That kind of like be interesting.
Like Team Rocket to the Littlemans.
Yeah.
I actually took the Dobermans out for PD Toe a while back. Apparently people liked it. Like I did it just because I was like, heck it, like whatever happens.
Language, please, Troms.
But apparently people were like all for it. And I think it was because nothing bad happened. And I did like a good job like keeping dibs on them and like, yeah, and like making sure that I was with them the whole time. I had the warden there and a bunch of DOC. Like, I think it was just a unique thing that nobody had ever really thought about like bringing actual lifer characters out of the prison to do work, and not just like everyday work. It was like government worker stuff, right?
Well, that's based in reality though, so like it makes sense to do something like that. I remember when they brought them to the to Dean World for the market and stuff to do a few things. It's like I was hoping to see more of that kind of stuff, you know. So.
Oh, dude, it's been so fun on Stanky, like going. People are like, so you guys want to go to the farmers market to sell some stuff? People are like, oh, dude, it's great.
I think the best part about that was that it was like one of those ask for forgiveness, not for permission kind of things. And I just said, I literally got to the warden. I was like, here's what I'm gonna do, and like I didn't like clear it with like anybody higher up. I was just like, I'm a PD Toe manager. I hired this guy because we desperately needed people. Nobody's working today. I'm going to get them out here to work. And it just went well. It just went really well. Yeah, I feel like people have tried doing stuff like this in the past, but they've like tried taking like let's get all the paperwork done first kind of aspect. And nobody wants to do the paperwork on something like this. Because I think Fontaine had ideas for stuff like this. She had like she was like the beginning of the enhanced parole program thing that you see in place now. She actually took the Littlemans out one time. We were in prison, not for like super long, but she took us to the casino and she made us clean the bar at the casino. And then because we were around alcoholic beverages, she wanted to make sure that we didn't like sneak any and drink. And so she made us take breathalyzer tests in the bathroom afterwards. And we peed all over the walls.
You know, one thing I miss is you remember the pee bottles?
Pee bottles?
The little cups, right? That would make you pee.
Oh my gosh. I'm probably part of the reason why we don't have them in the city.
Wait, I don't know what this is. I might have missed this.
Yeah, so I remember a while back watching Coil work on some stuff for the server, and he was playing Francis, and he was shitting and pissing everywhere.
I remember there was actual shit.
Yeah, but like the thing was, like, it was still, the funny thing was that the stream was like the shitting was still happening even when he was moving. He was going up the ladder and he was like climbing up and shitting, and then like with the pee thing, like, because it's connected to the finger from where it comes out, so he could just be pointing around and just pissing from his finger, like the aliens from that one scary movie thing, I think it was. Anyways, so I was like, oh god, I hope. I remember, I think somebody clipped it too, where it was like, dear Coil, I hope that one day I get to shit and piss, you know. And we ended up getting cups. I think it was pitchers that was selling, called golden showers. And when you would use it, as long as you escaped from it before you were done using it, because I had like a little meter of using it and everything, you could just pee and you just keep peeing. And I would just go around and do that everywhere. I remember that there was a what do you call the little, like, not tow truck, but like the thing that like digs ground, fucking one of those kind of
excavator.
Yeah, something like that. And the Timothy climbed into the big thing, you know, to the big scoop, and I think Hubcap was driving his stuff, and he was like moving it up and stuff, and I was peeing while on top of it, and like I got thrown out and I spun. I did like a little ballerina pee thing where like the pee was just spraying around everywhere. It was just like the silliest thing. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I may have abused it a little bit.
Dude, when those glitch out, because Gunnar was doing the same thing one time where his glitched out and he was just walking around dropping shit and he just had piss leaking. Like,
yes,
that's my favorite.
That's so funny.
Okay, we have a perfect guest today for this question. Best no pixel like glitches or stuff that you forced. I know, Steve, you're good at, you always do the wheelchair thing. I tuned into your stream like a couple of days ago, and you were like doing the wheelchair thing, like when Gord kept asking you if you wanted an ambulance, like you were just downing yourself.
That was so funny.
It's like we spent like 2 hours one day with James Randall. It was the complete definition of no intention to role play. We went with him and we had an EMS walking around with us, and we were just finding all of the things that you could stand on top of, use a wheelchair, and get launched into the air. Like 2 hours of
what was the best? What were the best ones you found?
Grandpa, over here. There was like north of Burger Shot at the end of the promenade by Bahama Mamas. There is a balcony you can get onto, and there is a sign, and there's like a 3 or 4 foot high letter that makes up the sign. It's like an embossed, like actual letter. And if you stand it on like the E or the R or something like that, and then use the wheelchair, it would send you flying like diagonally up through the air. Some of them, like the benches, will just instantly kill you. You'll just get like gravity bombed by the bench and just like power bombed into the ground.
Didn't it was like a clip of like Jim a couple days or weeks ago, Jim Littlemen Miles. He like got in a wheelchair and then immediately got like launched forward out of it and died or something.
Yep, that happens.
I just remember
so
one of my favorite glitches, the umbrella glitch. Oh my fucking god!
Oh, climbing the umbrella.
Oh, I love climbing umbrellas,
dude. I was so jealous. I was like, man, this looks like so much fun.
And if you did it in a wheelchair or if you did it on a bike, like they'd be different. Like, but like you were just being flung into the air, just haphazardly, or if you were being flung like horizontally, like you just flew. It was so much fun. It was silly stuff like that. But I understood why they took it out, but
can you not climb on umbrellas anymore?
No. In fact, because it was so whenever you pull out an umbrella, it's either going to be gray or blue. blue one that was causing it. So I think they changed it to red. So to show us all like, hey, different one now, and you can't. But yeah, that was some silly fun. I'm trying to think if there's any other ones that.
Do you guys know any? I'm always hesitant to talk about like glitches that could be abused if people find out about them. But I have a thing that sometimes like if I'm stuck or if I want to like troll somebody or if I like just want something weird to happen, there's a way to like walk through walls basically, because the walls in Grand Theft Auto are very thin, right? They're only like 1 pixel thick. So it's very easy to like force yourself through them. I'm not going to say exactly how to do it, but if you could do it, you can make some pretty funny. You can like trap yourself on the inside of like one of those glasses with the mannequins and you can be like, oh, you do knock 2.
Is it where you stand on top of something, do an emote, cancel the emote, and then you sync?
I'm not going to say. There's a lot of different ways to do it though.
I hate that one. It ruins my outros all the time. On the roof, there's an air conditioning unit, right? Mm-hmm. So I smoke, right? And sometimes I'm like, outro songs, jamming. And then I'm like, you know, fuck it, I'm closing. See you guys, bye. It happens so often. It's annoying. You guys look for fucking scuff. I run from that shit. I hate
it finds you.
Whenever it comes to anything like emotes, oh my god. Remember when Orange Justice first came out? It was only the top half that did the dance. Yeah. Oh my god! Freaking Burger Shot had a field day with it because you could find out that you could hold things. So while you're doing that, like the hand movement thing, like you could have a leaf blower, and like everybody was holding a different thing, and we're all doing that. I remember going up the chalet, and I was like slap fight, and we're like just like running at each other doing that. It was so funny.
That's great.
Yeah, we were dying. But I'm one of those people, like I've always played games wrong, you know, on purpose. I just like being creative with things. Like even with the OG like GTA 5, I never completed the game. I was jumping around doing floppy physics on people, doing like wrestling moves. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like Timothy recently just got a wheelchair. And now it's like, okay, what can I do with this wheelchair? What silliness can I do? And yeah, I'm sure it might be annoying to some people because it's like I'm going to play something out until it's like, okay, we get it. But it's one of those things that I can do that. Then I know the things that I want to keep, and then, you know, then use it on special occasions. Like Derptastic, who plays Otis, taught me how to be able to mimic people in the city. And my God, like I was just like, anytime somebody would talk, I'd be holding the button on the Go XLR, like, and then repeating it back. And it made for some silly moments. But now because, you know, my character, you know, likes to dress up as others and stuff like that. Like a couple of days ago, I dressed up as Gary, you know, Shao Wow's character, Gary Roche. And him and I were going back for like, no, I'm bigger, you know, with his voice and stuff like that. And people were just like, what the fuck is going on? It's the silliest stuff. The Aaron Shack, who I accidentally called the Aaron Carter for whatever reason, that became a thing.
Yeah, the Aaron Carter. Yeah.
So anyways, Aaron Carter, who plays Glue Guy, was in the city. And I actually have a character because, you know, with those kind of characters, you know, when somebody's memorable enough, you know, like there tends to be, you know, clones and stuff or brothers, you know, because everybody wants to get in on the fun and that kind of stuff. I think there was like Clay Guy. I'm trying to think of all the other, like, if it's an item that you can sniff, maybe, you know, I created Pooh Guy. So I'm going around talking like him and stuff, and but then I also realized, you know, I could mimic him. And he was only able to be on for like a half an hour or so. So once I showed him what I could do with that, I was like, here, let me feed you a few lines. And one was like, hi, Shelly, hi, T, and like things that I could not apply anywhere else. And then I went around after he hopped off, and he was hanging in the chat and everything. And I was going around, went to Maldini's, and was like having to go, I have no penis, you know, just like it was so nonsensical. And I called a few people too, and they're like, "What the fuck?" I called Osvaldo, and he's like, he's like, "What the hell?" And Aaron Shack is like cracking up on you know, in chat and everything, and yeah. So it went from something that was like
okay, yeah, lol random, but now I've been able to hone it into my character and stuff. And oh my god, one of the best ones was dressing up like Hubcap. And he likes to tell long stories, so I found out how long you can hold a button to record on the Go XLR, which, by the way, you can, I think, almost indefinite until you run out of room on your computer.
That's so funny.
He told a 2-minute story.
So you just walk around playing this 2-minute story back to people?
Yeah, I would, but I'd also have like a hello, yeah, hello, you know, and all those kind of different things of him, and so like they don't know if it's him or not. But even better, like he would still be with me. We would drive around, and there'd be two caps, and I would start telling the story, and then he would start saying it over again, delayed, and it's just like this weird, like, what the fuck is going on kind of thing. And I'm just mimicking the whole thing, the whole story, and all that kind of stuff, and it made for some really funny moments. One of them, like Space Boy was playing James Randall, and we were fucking with him because like James and Hubcap have a rivalry about, you know, jazz and rock and that kind of stuff. But it was funny, like after the whole, he was Space Boy was like laughing his ass off, and he was like, "Is this what it's like when me and Banana Duck are together?" When it comes to all that, which, by the way, big ups to freaking Banana Duck. Like he's like next level when it comes to his role play and stuff with all of his characters, but also figuring out how to be able to take somebody's voice live, not like with pressing a button, but like I can't really give out the secret, and I haven't figured it all out all the way, but like he's able to make sure that when Space Boy is talking, he's fed that into his Go XLR so that whenever he's, you know, pressed to talk kind of thing, played off right, Space Boy can be saying something, knowing that Banana Duck is able to say it, and there's a slight enough delay that it throws people off. Like,
wait, is Banana Duck the second James Randall?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's the clone.
That's so funny. Yeah, there's like a 1.5 second delay, so it's like hello.
Yeah. So he's doing a combination of the, you know, certain catchphrases and stuff, but he's also able to do it so they could do the twin thing where they're both talking at the same time. Funny thing as well. Do you all remember the situation where there was like 5 James Randalls?
Vaguely.
At the court? Yeah. So I like dressing up as Space Boy characters. Apparently, there was an instant where James met Mel. It was really funny, but we can talk about that later. So there, I saw all of them, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll dress up as a James. And then while I was there, I was like, wait a second. I was going through the ped models, and I was like, no, I'm gonna dress up as Holden, you know, because Holden's always stuff, and Banana Duck was playing one of the James at the moment, so it was a bit of a brain fuck when Holden came in and and Space Boy was like counting people like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How the hell? And then he realized, oh god, it's Timothy. I love moments like that, where the insanity is just dialed up to 11.
Mm-hmm.
And, dude, so
and
good.
Them their asses off. It means a lot when, like, the people that inspire me or, you know, make me laugh, I'm able to make them laugh. It's the best feeling ever.
Yeah, for sure.
I have a clip from that day, the James Randall day.
Oh, okay.
You get chains over your chains. Roll the footage. Quit eating. Roll the footage, Shanes.
Roll that beautiful bean footage. This man's eating on the job. We've been here for 3 hours and you have to eat? Disgusting.
4. We've been here for 4 now
hours.
because all right. This was from the like 5 James Randall night. And it was just like some I don't know why I did this, but it just felt so right. It just Just for absolutely no reason whatsoever. It's like this is completely RDM, but everything was going to shit. So I just fucking shot one of the Randalls.
Did no one realize?
No,
no one see you do it?
Dick, Richard Tips went, did he just get shot? Who shot him? Everyone just moved on with their lives. It was Hogshunt who I ended up shooting.
Oh, okay.
So I ended up sending it to him. I was like, yo, sorry.
I actually missed it on the first playthrough. I should go back and watch it. You just executed.
And the worst part about it, he came back to his PC, so he had no idea what was happening. He just hopped on, went straight to RDM.
That's so funny.
Here, I'm gonna post the link to Spaceball reacting to Holden. Where's the?
I'm on a streak of just shooting the Cubans, like the best little one taps too.
Oh, I shanked the shit out of Leo at the Playboy Mansion. That was fun.
So the fact that it was Hogs was like perfect because so far I've one tapped Arceus.
Wrong one.
I've one tapped Leo. Leo hit me with a hammer, and I had the fastest draw I think I've ever had, and tapped him in the face and walked away.
You just put it in the show links and then 52 will play it.
Dude, the funny thing is, like, I'm so good with just shooting them and walking away, even if they do crime. It's like just.
Which one?
Pillbot assassination protocol.
Yes, you.
Enabled.
Oh, okay.
You ain't a valid.
I'm sorry. What the fuck?
No.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How?
I have to come up and take
It's Tommy.
How did he know, dude?
I gave my and they do.
Tell them. Tell them what happened.
Irish American.
Yeah, I know. When the Randalls were popping.
Yeah,
that's great.
I think this was PD drinking night too. Which,
dude, I didn't know about PD drinking night. Nobody told me. I don't read chat. I don't fucking read Discord. So I had no idea. I wasn't doing anything. I was just sitting watching a movie. It's like, man, this sucks. I wish I was doing something fun.
Correct, nerd. That was good. I got one more in there of me shooting Arses. I don't know. It just feels good to shoot the Cubans. There's something so nice about it.
They should suffer.
We're gonna have to edit that part out. That did not sound kosher. That sounded shooting Cubans. God.
Troms loves shooting Cubans.
What?
Unprovoked.
Yeah, dude, they're a gang on NoPixel. Contacts chains.
Jeez. So it's quite a bit past where we normally are. Do you guys have anything you want to touch on, talk about before we wrap it up here?
You want to watch this last clip?
Oh, sure.
Quick?
Yeah. This better be a 52 chains clip. I love that guy. Fuck.
Now this is a Dooms clip.
Oh, that
I like what you did with your new overlay. You changed it. It looks nice. Or did you?
What overlay? No.
The camera thing.
No.
Is this Muller?
Yeah.
What the fuck happened to Muller?
Get away from him!
Oh, Muller.
Ew, ew, oh my god, I stepped in it!
Get away from me,
Yeah.
You are gross. That's disgusting.
The fuck you say? The fuck you say me?
Oh my god.
There we go.
What is going on with Muller?
I sent it to him and he goes, "You one-tapped that?"
The jump into the one tap was incredible. That's great.
There's nothing more satisfying than a pistol headshot just taking somebody out on a pixel. It's just so satisfying.
Are we still all pistols all the time on PD?
For cops?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They're cutting the SRU roster in half. We can only use class 1 pistols. We're we're going hard mode. PD's in hard mode right now. If you want to catch your criminal,
I think it's fine. I don't mind at all.
Yeah, I like. I mean, it's still a challenge. I like that it's being shaken up. Which is
I like
really
that the Cribs are struggling too. I guess they're. I only know because I was watching some clips this morning, but apparently they have a new way of getting guns, and a bunch of people are pissed off about it. I don't know all the details, but
it's expensive. It's expensive. Costs like thousands,
is it
hundreds of thousands.
I think there's like a dude, who cares? Kevin Ram told me how much it takes to get a P1 team, $10 million. And then I said, "Wow, you had that kind of money?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm not in like a perfect financial comfortable state right now, but yeah, after spending 10 million, but like I'm okay." I'm like, okay.
What's a P1 team?
That's like no pixel F1, so they're gonna be like closing off parts of the city to do like F1 rallies, F1 races. It's gonna happen sometime soon. Apparently, all the stuff's in like to be able to put down. They're gonna put down barriers in the streets, guys.
Oh no!
To block off the streets.
Hopefully, it's just barriers.
Yeah, if they even put down a single cone.
Every time you see what
could happen.
Steve, do you got any questions for us? Anything you want to know? Anything that we talked about on a previous episode that you wanted to expound upon or have us expound upon?
Well, I do want to do one other thing that I've seen y'all do in the past. Let's talk about people that we think deserve prio.
Oh, okay.
Actually, let's not do that because bad track record.
Oh.
What happened?
Oh God! Yeah, every time we bring someone up here, they tend to get like banned.
We're like 3 for 3 with people that have been banned after we
they just leave the server, or they quit either something they've been working on,
or they get banned.
I know for a fact that the person that I want to bring up is definitely not that.
All right, listen. When they get banned or when they quit or when something tragedy strikes, this is on you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to shout out the Rudy Duck, and he's absolutely been kicking ass when he's been able to get in. There's a lot of places in the city that he has been doing modeling, like not remodeling, but like a lot of the like Chihuahua hot dogs. The Crashers. He was working on Gary's gym. There's a few people that are still waiting for him to come back to the server to make these places look amazing. He also did Hubcap's house as well. He's also just a very yes and person. He works at Burger Shot. He was just an absolute delight to be around, but he also has done a lot of stuff in the background where, you know, he could be out role playing, but he's out and he's making a lot of these places look believable and just amazing. And I feel bad that like somebody like that has poured so much of themselves into very much behind the scenes, and that isn't able to get in. And for the fact that like people are hoping that he gets in, and he's been struggling. It's been like a month or two that he hasn't been able to get into the server to be able to do that kind of stuff. I just hope that that one of the admins might, you know, see this or you know, look into it and see how valuable he is to the server. So just wanted to give a shout out to the Rudy Duck. There's a few other names, but it's one of those like his name is always brought up, just like in character of like, gee, I wish Felix was here, or like, you know, like I don't know why I just made Gary sound like Strong Bad. Oh, you know, like I was typing on my computer and checking my emails.
I have a girlfriend. She's really real.
Yeah. Like literally, like on the daily, like we're bringing Felix Klein is his character, his name up, and I just hope that and I've told him to.
You hear that? No pixel admins up in your chair in the sky with your cute hair and cute face. Damn, you're looking cute right now. Hey, yo, just give Rudy Duck a look. You know, I'm just saying, just give him a look.
Yeah,
cutie.
So, just throwing that out there. Let the cards fly.
I don't know who has prio and who doesn't. I hate that because I always forget to award people all the time. Gemma Zimmerman. I don't know. Does she have prio?
I think so.
I like her.
It doesn't hurt.
I see her on Not Cop pretty often.
Jet Gaming. She's really funny.
She missed our date.
What?
Yeah.
You've been in the ICU.
I would have taken flowers to her. That's all I'm saying.
Why is everyone ERPing now? What the hell's going on?
Because it's counterculture.
Horny month.
Oh.
People.
What about you? What about you, Guttural? You got an ERP role player?
You anybody?
No, no, very much not. No.
I got an ERP. I got an ERP, guys. Katja. She works at the.
No, that's John Hydra's ERP. You can't have Katja.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess you can have her.
No, we're gonna fight over her now.
I don't want to.
It's too late.
This is meta.
I already know OOC.
My chat does want Shelly and Timothy to hook up. Team Shalathay is what they call it.
I think Shelly's gonna stop being a cop soon. I don't think she enjoys it.
Yeah, and I think that's one of those kind of scenarios of because, like, being around the right people, you know, and it's just if you're not having fun, why keep doing it? You know, I just hope that she finds the right group of people to be able to roll with and stuff like that.
Is she solo or is she full officer?
She's full officer.
I mean, that's kind of on her at this point, right? It's like you just got to work to ride with the right people.
I brought this up to FTOs about why it seemed to us or them like she wasn't really putting in the effort, or like, no, I wouldn't say that. It was that she wasn't really enjoying herself.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, look at her history. You know, it doesn't matter like who really is playing, if it's Kelly or if it's Shelly, like, especially with Shelly, she comes from a background
big
of
groups,
always having somebody around and being able to role play. She can show up at any point in time, go to Burger Shot, and there are people there for her to role play with, and she can have interactions with them. When you're a cop, especially when you're in your solo cadet phase, you just have to ride around in a car by yourself, and you're going from one interaction to the next, and not all of them are favorable. Not all of them are role play involved, you know? And I think that was really, really hard for her, and it still is hard for her, which is why like she did the whole like looking for a group thing where she'd put a flag
LFG.
up in the garage. Yeah, LFG. Like,
that's cute.
Looking for somebody to ride with. It's like I felt that on like a deep level too, because especially with Moosebeard, it's something that I've struggled with as a cop.
Yeah, nobody wants to go to 37 boosts a day. It's so weird. I'm sorry.
A character cop and being like a funny cop, but mixing that with being a serious cop and actually doing police work.
It's a hard mix to find.
So hard, and to walk the line, and it's like it feels like you don't get recognized for either, for being a funny cop or for being a good cop. It's like Moosebeard hasn't got a single promotion, you know, since senior. Like meanwhile, people were hired well before him who, you know, maybe just tried to be less funny or like less silly. Like they moved up quicker, even though Moosebeard's doing everything that it would take to move up. He just isn't.
I think about. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
It makes you want to just like choose one or the other, right?
But then, like, are you
like? What do you mean?
Like, if you pick one or the other with Moosebeard, like if you go full morale cop or if you go full like cop,
right?
Are you still Moosebeard?
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, it's so difficult. It's so hard. You know, I wanted them to move up because I wanted, like, I don't know, I just wanted to have the effort that I've put in recognized. It's not even like I want to be command or I want to, you know.
Who's in charge of that? Like in the department?
I don't know.
Like
tried selling my wife to Pred for it, but he didn't really go for it.
You know who's to blame for all of this? In my opinion, a walnut for coining the term morale cop.
Yeah.
he pushed a wedge between between two different roleplay styles. This is his fault. Okay.
I'm always happy to blame Walnut.
Yeah, that's fine. I can blame him.
Oh, I think I skipped over the part where, because we talked about some of the unrecording, the void recording, but John Hydra has an opportunity to potentially join the TBDPD.
Full officer, right?
Yeah, full officer. I might even be able to negotiate with Brian about potentially senior. Might happen. I've got the experience. I've got the time.
Dude, I think you should do a final.
Why?
With LSPD. I mean, if you don't have to, sure, but everybody had to do a final.
I'm sure everybody didn't have to do a final.
Not Cornwood. He didn't do a final. Fingal didn't do a final. He paid Toretti money. He gave him sub sandwiches.
Listen, if the chief of police, if the chief of police thinks that I have what it takes, you got to trust his judgment, right?
Yeah.
I do agree with that. Yeah, you roll with it. Whatever happens. I'm honestly, I'm still looking out for you. I hope for the best.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. And I think
jump through hoops. Or you can be
I have some role play planned around it. I'm gonna try to make moves happen, one way or another. But yeah, hopefully it'll be fun, because that's the main thing. Is as long as it's fun, as long as we're role playing, and as long as people fight over it, that's all I want. I just want people to go to war over John Hydra. Is that so much to ask?
No.
Oh yeah, I power gamed my way into proving to the PD that CPD implants bombs on some of their workers.
Yeah, we saw. It's funny. We were in prison at Bob Smith, and we see OOC bomb goes off in the text, and all of a sudden, all of us go, "Whoa! Did you hear that explosion?"
Yeah.
Sound like a distant explosion. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, Brian Medi really had to leave. Like everybody could tell he was like, "Docs, how much longer do you think this might take?" And I was like, I used actually throwback, because he got his larynx from Krim Littlemen, the last remaining microbots from Arsenal Littlemen, activated to Armory Littlemen, activated and started detonating the bomb that was in him, and Brian had to take his old heart out and drive it down Great Ocean, and it exploded.
What the fuck did I miss?
Dude, so
what
much.
What the hell are you talking about?
So much.
Whose heart?
John's heart.
Where did you get a new heart?
Oh, Brian Knight killed somebody and gave him a heart.
Meta.
Medi?
Medi? I mean, Brian Knight left for 8 minutes and then came back covered in blood with a grocery store cooler full of ice and a fresh human heart in it that he bought.
Bought this?
He walks into the prison or the hospital just leaving bloody footprints, dripping, soaking blood. Somebody went, "Do you guys hear Huey Lewis on the news playing?" Oh, it's so funny. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to roleplay again, finally. Very excited to see how things go. Hopefully, the one thing that I'm scared of is that people are just going to railroad me in the PD. They're just going to be like, no, because policy. No. Fuck roleplay, no.
You're just going to die on John anyway.
I think if
just die already.
I think I'm going to set a perma condition that if I'm a cadet for 12 months, I'm going to perma.
Relax, you're real close to that 12-month mark. Don't say that. You'll be fine.
And I think he's going to go full cyber psycho and shoot up MRPD. That'll be fun.
Can I send you a list of people
maybe shoot up the Russian, start World War III? That would be pretty good.
Did you just say you want him to target a bunch of people when he goes?
That'd be nice. I got a list, okay? I got a list.
Of course you have a list.
In game, by the way. In a video game.
Don't come to school tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Don't come to school tomorrow.
Oh god, I'm so happy that the LSPD split into 2 departments. That's like the best case scenario. So now, because the LSPD had like 2 crews in it that did not like each other.
Mm-hmm. Also, the TBD PD, dude, it's all people that I love role playing with. It's Curtis Ryan, it's Dos Medi, it's Trav Piper. Dude, I love role playing with these guys. This is like such an opportunity. If the role play goes the right way and I get to role play with them on the daily, like in a more close way, oh man. It'd be very exciting.
Who knows? Maybe gonna let you get in a charger to prove he's an assistant chief.
Probably just to beat the shit out of Carmine.
You're gonna have to lose the fit you have, the nice.
This guy was
fit. Are you willing to do that?
S+ for a D class boost.
That's so driving circles around him, by the way.
All I do is win.
I do actually really like the look John Hydra has right now. I'm really sad to see him in an LSPD uniform. If we go that way,
LSPD, it's gonna be something else. They're both. I don't think either of them are keeping the LSPD.
Dude, I hope they go somewhere where there's like a gang that I like. I hope they go to like really close to like the guild or HOA, and they like get a police precinct there. That'd be so sick.
I think you'd look good in like the Southern cowboy style, right? Yeah, I'm a cowboy and I work hard and I love my dog and I eat my truck but I also dress up real nice and I wear a big belt buckle when I do it. Like I feel like you look good like with like blue jeans and like, you know.
Dude, that'd be sick.
I've got a question for Guttural. If you could choose a department to have a cop hired in, which department would it be and what would the cop be like?
If I were to play a cop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about cop stuff. I've been watching y'all stuff, but wherever the goofiest cops are, that's probably what
SDSO.
I know. Yeah, there.
Yeah.
I figured.
I thought about doing Timothy in the butt.
Nice. Me too.
Subverting expectations.
You thought about making Timothy a cop?
Or was that Freudian slip? I'm not sure. I've thought about, but like, I don't know. When it comes to taking a direction into like making a cop or making a criminal, I want to make sure that I can put my own twist on it. And I think Timothy would maybe make a good one, but then he's
I encourage people to make new characters for cops.
Yeah. But probably the SDSO, is that what we said?
Yeah.
Those are the words.
Stupid desert, stuput officers.
But yeah, and going back, like the reason that I've been playing a Civ, like I've gotten a lot of joy out of it, but I'm getting closer to wanting to do other things, and it's not until I can find like the right group of people, the right like I'm not gonna make a criminal and to grind and to do standard like robbing a bank. I want to do it in style. I want to do it differently. So the Mark Hamill Joker, going around rolling with the clowns. We want to make people laugh. We want to make people cry.
So good.
It's actually you really need to make that character. That's fucking wild.
I already did.
You will destroy your voice for a day, but it'll be worth it.
This man does black metal. He'll be all right.
Yeah. Like over a decade of doing harsh things to my throat.
Me too.
Thank you for saying it like that.
Please. Wait, can we retake? Can you say abusing your throat? Then
abusing my throat. Yeah, there we go.
Perfect.
That zoom button is the best thing that I've ever done for my stream.
I've got 3 points that I want to bring up that I've been thinking about while we're streaming. You changing your camera made me think of one of them. I'm going to come back to that one. The one before that is tangential to the podcast. Do you want to play Street Fighter, the new one, with me?
6? Oh my god, yes.
Okay, perfect. I really like having a dedicated fighting game buddy so we can like beat each other up and get better. And also playing online makes me want to eat rocks.
Hey, trust me, from what I've heard, the 5s was horrible, but the netcode for 6 is supposed to be really good. So cool. Yeah, I'm totally down.
Okay. 2. I feel like I haven't been doing a very good job as a streamer. And what I mean by that is I've been kind of phoning it in. I kind of just get on the server, play my characters, talk to my chat, and go, which is fine. But when I started streaming, I made affiliate in the minimum time possible for you to make affiliate. Oh, God. Hold on, sorry, this everybody take cover. Was it the low flag planes, man? The Littlemen's around? What the fuck? Sorry. What was I saying? Oh, I made affiliate in the minimum amount of time you can from being a new streamer.
Yeah.
Part of that is I accidentally started playing a very popular game that had very few view streamers, and then the top one hosted me, and then some cool games came out, and I just kind of like got pretty lucky, right? But then I changed games, and then all those people left, but I'd already made affiliates. So it's like, whatever, fuck yeah, go me. But I used to have like scenes. I used to like dance in my chair. I used to have like different lighting effects. I used to have like triple zoom, quadruple zoom, quintuple zoom. I had like effects where I could stand up and like box myself. I had so much things, and I just kind of stopped somewhere along the ways because I think I stopped believing in myself when it come to like streaming and making streaming a career. And I think I want to try to put some more effort back into the stream a little bit.
Oh yeah, but it's also it's easier to do that stuff when you're playing a different game because you have to be so on all the time with RP.
Mm-hmm.
You never know when something's going to happen. Trying to throw that kind of same stuff in is a different kind of.
It's super easy to do when you're playing like a battle royale. You know you're going to win or lose, right? So it's easy to have a thing for that. You know, it's gonna.
Yeah, there's always going to be downtime, and then you can do your little things here and there and stuff like that. So it's, I guess the best way to go about that is to kind of see what other people are doing. I will say like Farmhouse is really good with having interaction stuff with his chat. Like they've got their own little memes and stuff, and he's got like a thing about I think ice cream or something like that, where he's got like it's taking those little in jokes and turning them into things that you can keep bringing back up and stuff like that. And I think he's got like a little like face changer thing for one of his characters that came from some meme and stuff like that he's able to like bring into it. So it's just it's hard to kind of figure out how to bring yourself into like little things like that. I myself would love to do the same as what you're saying with like wanting to add those little extra bits to make it more unique, to stand out, to bring your personality to your stream. So.
Yeah, I want to. I play cop a lot, so I want to add like I don't know if it's possible. Travis might be able to help me with this, but I want to add to my stream deck the ability to like start like a prediction, like so people can gamble with like channel points. For like,
I'm pretty sure you can.
I just want to be able to be like, I'm in a pursuit. Am I going to catch this guy? Yes or no? And like 20 seconds to. That's fun, right? And then people can quickly be like, yeah, and now they're invested, right?
Yeah.
So stuff like that, little things like that. Yeah. If I get into a gunfight, like, are we going to make it out alive? Yes, no. Channel points. And then, have some fun things you can do with channel points. I think people like kind of go nuts with what you can do for channel points. I used to have it so for like 50,000 channels, I would say something that you suggested in character. And then it just got too like weird and cringe, and I was like, I'm not doing this. I'll do this one, but I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I try to do the channel points myself, so I know exactly about.
I'm
Stream Deck app that does it.
I'm quite lucky. I've got a when I started streaming.
Crack mod team.
Yeah, I got a mod. His name is The Only Riches, and like 90% of the reason why I'm streaming as consistently as I am is because of me. He's been helping.
Oh,
okay, you too, but mostly him. He's been helping me along the way like crazy. Like all the predictions, my emotes, pretty much everything my channel has, is because of him.
That's awesome.
Because I procrastinate a lot. I tend to sit on my ass and can't be asked to do anything.
You need a Carmine Chomp emote for sure.
Yeah. Who was talking about that earlier? Who was it? Moose brother. That's it.
Yeah.
He was the one who pioneered it, right?
Yeah. Well, he stole it from Moon and then pioneered it.
Totally
did
idea
he pioneer
from Moon.
What was that? 52?
Oh, nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
Yeah, I mean, he was the one who originally had the emo from Bourbado or whatever he called him.
Yeah. I had a third point. The last point is, I also understand, Steve, when you say that you want to play with a group, you want to find the right people. I'm constantly saying to people, like, I really want to start like doing crim stuff or like other stuff. I actually really want to start. I had this idea for like a slice of life character where I utilize like music, emotes, scenes for like borders to like sort of like set the mood, where I really want to make it like a Japanese slice of life, like, okay, you know, like lens flares on the screen, you know, like sound effects, applause, stuff like that. Whereas like really like high production value slice of life, you know.
I heard like slice is life the first time and I was so confused.
No, slice of life, yeah.
Slice is life.
And where you just like go about your day, but in order to do that, you need other people who are kind of like in on it, other people who are like willing to like go to the beach for a beach day. Because like, how many times have you been watching an anime or a TV show and they're like, it's beach day, and you go and you just have a great time, and you like nervously flirt with your crush, and you know, I think people could really get invested in that. I think that's kind of what Ash did early on. She had very slice of life type shit. She's like a full pog gangster now, but and she also had a giant audience coming over, but still.
I will say though, as far as making sure that there's like hubs for people to get together, that was one of the biggest reasons why I stuck with Timothy at Burger Shot, because and I've always kind of said that like the Burger Shot is like a place for all the people that don't necessarily want to be criminals or cops or anything like that. The ones that kind of the theater kids, you know, they're not the most popular. They're, you know, the little oddball, whatever like that. It's a place for all of us to kind of come together and meet like-minded individuals and stuff like that. And I think that Burger Shot has a very it has a still has a place, even with all the new food places that are opening up. I feel that it still gives a unique experience, and it makes me happy to always hear that people like, yeah, I go to Burger Shot for the experience, you know. But I've also seen so many people come through, and it to a certain degree, it's like to how NXT is to WWE. It's a stepping stone of like getting to work with people that you know, that we can better each other, and then, you know, you may not be at Burger Shot forever, but you know, it's that next stepping stone to go on to greater things. And so I've always thought that that's why Timothy's always worked his way up. And now that he's CEO, I'm finally able to, you know, give even more in that regards of make sure to hire the right kind of people to foster this environment where people can, you know, work but not feel like you're working, to grind to not feel like you're grinding. And yeah, I just Burger Shot's given a lot to me. I will say that, like, that's why Timothy has been ride or die with
fuck yeah,
with Burger Shot. So
to end my point, sorry, I started and then got sidetracked with the slice of life thing. I've really been looking for a group, right? I really want a group to play with. I want a group of people that I can trust to like lean on each other and not like get like weird and OOC when like things don't go well. And then if there's a problem, we can message them and be like, hey dude, like that didn't feel great. Like, did that feel good for you? And you're like, no, I'm sorry. Like it didn't, like, and then you're fine. Right. I miss playing co-op. Co-op games is my favorite genre. There is no game that I like more than co-op. And I used to say roleplay is nothing but co-op. That's why I like it so much. But then I kind of realized it's not really co-op so much it is like cooperative improv, which is still co-op, but a little different, right? We don't all have the same goal. In a co-op game, you typically all have the same goal. So that's playing with a group of people, I genuinely think would be like what I'm looking for. So if you decide that you want to do some like weird shit that you want people to play, hit me up. We'll make something happen.
Yeah, and like, oh, by the way, so I know that, you know, you got the Littlemens and all that kind of stuff, but there's been kind of a thing. It doesn't happen very much often anymore, but there were Timothy clones, and so there was. Well, first started off with the Aaron Shack playing Timothy's brother, Jimothy. He unfortunately met demise of bursting into flames and becoming a burnt burger. And then there was Ilwak, who normally plays Bob Moss, that played Timothy, which was that first like actual clone. And my God, his impression like is so spot on that like I was watching back the footage and I was like, who's talking? Like he does a really good job with it.
His voice is so deep, Ilwak.
Yeah,
his voice is like crazy deep.
Yeah, so the fact that he hits it, he's another very talented voice person.
We rated him the other night.
But then Mike the Bard, whenever he does his subathons, he can create a new character and he lets the chat choose, and he was like, let's make a clone daughter, Timothy, and she met a demise by being ran over by one of those random, sometimes you'll see like a car spinning around and there's nobody driving it. Timothy and Timothy got ran over like over and over and over again, waiting for the EMS to show up, and she ended up permaing. So Timothy's the only one, but I'm definitely willing to give any of you all the face data for Timothy if you all want to. And my only like rules of it is that that the name. The whole thing with like Timothy Steampipe was like, I just thought it'd be funny to take, a normal name and just switch a vowel. Yeah, actually, so it doesn't necessarily need to be you can do the Uthi. I guess that's a thing too, but like just the most that I've seen, like it's always fun seeing how somebody will interpret your character, but I've usually just seen like just be silly, say stupid shit, and maybe run around in your underwear.
Perfect. Yeah.
And just whatever you think a Timothy should be, because like add your own freaking flair to it. And you might be good at making burgers too. So I would love to see like a whole burger shot ran by Timothy clones, and for like Charlotte to be like, what the hell is going on? And just everybody talking like this, all gonna make the burger.
After
just like it'd be silly.
For like 3 years of being Tim Littlemen, just this week I forced Lord on myself that Tim's full real name is Timberly. Timberly. Well, because on his MDW, and I don't know why this came up in a court case, that Tim's little name, oh that's right, we were trying to get perjury, so I lied and said that Tim's middle name was Brittany Shire. And then, so in prison recently, I fully admitted that Tim's full name is Timberly Brittany Shire Littleman.
I love it.
That's great.
It was just good.
Silly names are fun.
Timberly and Timothy.
Yeah. Oh, apparently there's another Timothy in the city. Timothy Nook, Tom Nook, played by Rude Noodle NPC.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like,
because I go by Timothy.
So I was looking through, to see my records and stuff, and I was like, started typing out, TOMAT, and I was like, wait, what the? There's another Timothy in this server? Like, what the fuck? I just didn't expect it, but yeah, finding out it was Rude Noodle, I was like, that's funny.
He wanted to be a cop, but he would slash me everything he had to say, and he would go do the that was funny. I signed his petition to get the raccoon cop.
All right, boys, you want to call a show?
The burn cop, the burn pet, is that the one you're talking about? Burn has a rocket raccoon pet in a cop outfit.
I love that character.
He was just wearing the
raccoon mask. Yeah.
Wait, does Burn has two cops then?
Burn has whatever Burn wants. Okay, you don't question Burn.
That's true. Yeah, that is true.
He's got like 10 custom characters in his roster.
Timothy's just dollar store Burn at this point. Just making characters on the whim and just.
You should. Timothy should imitate Sonic and take people to the OC Underground.
No, I actually. Oh my God, we got a bunch of people together to dress up like Sonic characters. We've done it.
That's great.
There's a picture somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, boys, we've been here for a long time. Thank you guys for staying extra. Apologize for the technical difficulties. Got a good show out of this.
You're not allowed to delete this one this week. You got to save it for at least a week.
Okay. Jeez.
We're recording, right? We're live, right?
Oh, fuck.
I swear to fucking God.
No, you'd know because I would just leave the channel, delete my account, never return.
Can I finish my meal now without tucking away? Oh, it was still live.
No eating. All right, boys. Yeah, Steve, dude, thanks for coming on. Thanks for being such a good sport. Can't wait to have you back on. It'll be awesome. Can't wait to start playing fighting games with you, and can't wait to RDM Tom with you anytime I see him.
Of course.
Add me to that list.
Anything you want to shout out before we go? Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, OnlyFans.
Search GutturalSteve on freaking YouTube. I'll eventually get back to YouTube stuff. On Twitter, on the Twitch. I'll be there.
Perfect.
And yeah,
go subscribe to all the things.
Yes.
All right. Appreciate you, boys. Yespixel, episode 18.